Outlaw family, what it do, what it do, what it do. Everybody who supports Outlaw Radio, welcome to the Hump Day edition of Outlaw Radio on a Wednesday night. Outlaw Radio down and out. Very, very, very crazy time to be a foundational Black American in this country, on this planet, but specifically in this city. There is so much going on, so much to talk about. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a platform. So if you chose to rock with Outlaw Radio, I really appreciate that. Shout out to you, Jazz Fingers. Yes, sir. This is Outlaw Radio. What is Outlaw Radio? It's a foundational Black American platform that is basically dedicated to talking about things that matter to Black people, us. And when I say Black, it's a delineated version of Black people. I pissed some people off with that, right? Too much of the rainbow coalition. Too much of trying to be accepted and loved by everyone else. Too much of us supporting others that don't support us. People who can enjoy certain benefits because of their racial or cultural identity or their sexual orientation. And these are the things that we fought for. We are the preeminent protesters, if you will. We protested so much that we get mad at each other for protesting. We're tired of praying, tired of marching, because that's what we've always done. Now, when we secured whatever rights or whatever kind of changes that needed to be made, other people who identify as minorities were able to take advantage of these things as well. And somewhere along the way, they moved ahead of us in line, the proverbial line. Who's getting treated next? Right? We watched other races get reparated. I don't know if reparated is a word. Sure, my Outlaw Radio family will keep me on point. We watched other cultural groups, other racial groups get, reparated and be treated like first-class citizens. And the things that have happened to them in the past, there's been apologies. There's been like, oh, we're sorry. That shouldn't have never happened to you. Asian people in internment camps, we're sorry. Jewish people who go through the Holocaust, we're sorry. Here's some money. But when it comes to us, as the great grandchildren of the slaves, we just celebrated Juneteenth Day. The significance of that date is supposed to be when the people who didn't know they were free were told that you are free and you have been free for a minute, but you ain't know it. And so maybe that's what we have to do to some people now, is go and ride onto the plantation and say, hey, y'all know y'all free, right? Y'all know it's a new day. It's Outlaw Radio, man. It's the kind of conversation. If that's something you like to join in on, if you enjoy talking about our issues and then trying to come up with solutions and even say, hey, but it's not that bad because there's still this part of us that's great, then this is a platform for you. Share the show. Share the show. Share the show. Live from the 414. Earl Henning in the chat room early said, what it do? My brothers love us. Chocolate milk. Absolutely, Earl. Shout out to you, part of the Outlaw family. Long-time supporter. Earl always rocks with us. I appreciate you, family. I appreciate you. Once again, the phone number is 262-202-5131. That's 262-202-5131. Chat room is always active. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Normally, we're not on time. I made it a point to be on time tonight, so people can't say, yeah, you was late. And no, now you're late, because I know people are going to join in and then say, what are we talking about? If you was here from the beginning, you know what we were talking about. Anything and everything that's Black. I'm not talking about African American. I'm not talking about Negro. I'm not talking about nigger. I'm talking about Black. Foundational Black Americans. I got a weird flex I'm going to share with y'all tonight on my FBA shit. And this shit going to be dope. It's going to be dope when I share it. I'm kind of, I'm worked up because I can't wait to share it. Which doctor you tapping in? What's going on with you, my brother? How you doing tonight?
Hey man, I'm all right. I'm all right. Sorry for my lateness,
It's all good,
but
man.
I'm here with the greatness.
Got bars. What's good with you, my brother? How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. And so it's Outlaw Radio down and out, right? And Kamar, I know a lot of people, they don't understand. This shit is personal to me, right? I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit. So I go in and I think about what I want to talk about, right? In light of all the things that we have already discussed. You know what I'm saying? And so I said down and out, I started to think about most of these people who are outside of our community or who are critical of us. Most of these people who point the finger at us and say, you all are the problem. You all fuck up everything. You are the worst people by far. I started to think about, they don't really understand what it's like to be us. They don't understand what it's like to be a poor Black person in the United States of America. And I want to say, because I come down on people all the time, because there's a lot of lasciviousness, and I see a lot of individuals who could take advantage of opportunities to improve their station, if you will, and they don't do it. So I'm critical of them. But when we talk about the psychology of this, you have to be able to go inside of the psychology of a person who is out of answers, a person who has no prospects, a person who has no potential, a person who doesn't even really have what we call self-efficacy. They don't believe that they can do anything.
Right.
I'm not saying it's slavery because of slavery. I'm not saying it's a victimized mindset. What I'm saying is it's a real mindset. Our city is showing us right now what happens when you take a bunch of poor people and you pack them in a box and give them no outlets, no answers, and then play in their face around them with $500 million stadiums and $200 million tax referendums and multi-billion-dollar development downtown, but give them nothing. How are they supposed to feel? Are they supposed to have a optimistic outlook? Should they wake up every day and say, "Oh, it's a lovely day"?
Right. Diagnosed with all kind of mental illnesses and shit.
And drugs.
Right? Lead.
Trauma. Generational trauma. Piss poor dietary habits. This is a perfect elixir for failure. If we could bottle this up, Kamar, we could sabotage some motherfuckers. Because we could sneak in some white places and pour some of this shit and they drink and then just leave. And watch that shit deteriorate. So when I say down and out, I mean I have to go and understand, like, yeah, it's easy for me to look at this and say this is savage behavior. I'm appalled. What the fuck is going on? But I'm also removed.
Hey, hold on. But at the same time, we should feel like that, though.
We should.
At the same time.
But we always say the main thing you have to have, no matter what you're doing, is balance. So you have a certain percentage of you that feels that way because you believe and you want to see accountability. But there has to be, it's not sympathy, not empathy, but understanding of what it's really like to live in a fucking horrible, chaotic, dysfunctional, underserved, underinformed community. Where are you supposed to find inspiration at? What about this shit makes me say it's gonna be all right? There are no mechanisms in our communities that provide that for the people that are there. There's no mechanisms in there to say to these people, hey, okay, you're struggling right now, we get it, but let's work together so we can come up with a plan to get you out of this. Go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say the only thing they get is those movies and shit where they glorify the drug dealers just having money and everything, the rappers and all this shit. This is the only thing they get.
So it's all or nothing.
Right.
He said either you singing rap hooks or you got a wicked. What Biggie say? Either you're slinging rap hooks or you got a wicked jump shot. Is that what it was? Right. There's no more. Hey, let me lay a foundation and build it up and progress and learn as I go and become smarter and better and more efficient. It's, hey man, shit. My mixtape just came out. It ain't selling, so shit. Let's get it. Right. Let's go take it from somebody who got it. And while I know that's foul, I'm kind of understanding why certain people, like I'm looking at these babies. These babies don't know no better, man. And I'm in full agreement that maybe we should lock them up to show them, to teach them. Like you said, sometimes a motherfucker gotta go sit down.
Yeah.
I'm
But then
looking at
also we can't forget about the programs. We got to implement programs and make them get into these programs.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That help. Because like I said, there are programs in prison. It's just that niggas choose not to unless the judge say you got to do this program in order to get out.
There's programs on the street before you even go.
Programs on the street. That's right.
Before you even
But
go.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like you really need to reutilize these prisons as rehabilitation centers.
I would agree that there needs to be more of a pronounced agenda to create rehabilitation within these penitentiaries. I
Yeah,
will
you gotta
concede
work
that.
on the mind, man. On the mind, got to start showing them like, cause again, a lot of motherfuckers is in there. Shit, they was broke on the streets, or dead. You know what I mean? Or not broke, but you know what I mean, in poor conditions. You know what I mean? That's why they was selling, or that's why they was killing. That's why they was
Doing whatever.
robbing.
Yeah.
Or you know what I'm saying? It's usually because of that. So if we can implement some programs to get them to thinking better, start thinking about their actions, implement some programs that could give them some skills for when they get out. They can be plumbers, electricians, or whatever. You know what I mean? Now they got some options. I think that would help greatly if they had options coming out of prison. I don't have to do the same shit because I got this degree now.
Kamar, what you just said was beautiful, right? That's beautiful, right? Okay. But when I look at you, when I look at Ed Hennings, when I look at Westside Zeladine, when I look at my cousin Carl Pfeiffer, when I look at all my partners who did a bit, all my people who was, like you said, in the midst of it, right?
Yeah.
Done that time, shout out to my cousin Robert Barnes. Once again, my family, for people who I know, who have had to go and sit down for long periods of time. But when they came home, you know what they did? They got together. They got right. They said, nah, you know what? I ain't giving them no more of my time. Whatever I gotta do, if I gotta humble myself, okay, so it ain't bird money. But I'm gonna keep at this shit until it turns into real, consistent, good money, right? Minus the bullshit that comes with the bird money. So there are programs, there are opportunities. The one thing I learned as an MPS employee is that it's very hard to teach somebody who don't want to learn.
Right.
It is the ultimate battle. And it's probably the number one thing that teachers learn or should learn in terms of classroom management is that you have to realize how many of these kids are actually receptive to what you're teaching, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if 15 of them are into this shit and I got 7 who are not, probably 3 of them can be flipped to the good side.
Right.
Them other 4, y'all gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go. Yeah, look, I'm not forcing nothing on you. You can.
You're right. Hey, look, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something else I know, right? Like a lot of them brothers in prison love to have some programs like that, where they can get out and actually have the degree that they need already. You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of the time, it be ways they can use that work while they in there, so now they can have experience. You see what I'm saying? So like brothers there, like a lot of them is grown and they already know it. Like, man, look, it's now or never, nigga. I got to figure something out. You know what I mean? You need that for one. You need something to look forward to, something to do when you get out, and then 2, you also need a support system. The support helps greatly. People around you who doing good shit. People around you who putting good words in your ear. You know what I'm saying? Those 2 things.
Well, I'm gonna be a little bit snobbish. You know, I gotta fuck it up, Kamar. Every time it go good, I gotta fuck it up, right?
Yeah.
I feel a certain kind of way about brothers who go to the penitentiary and are able to get college degrees. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's because I actually went to college. I know a lot of people who don't need to go to college. There is so much learn lessons and living in going through that process
Oh
of
yeah,
going
definitely,
to
definitely.
college. So I'm going there. I'm leaving the house literally as a boy, and I'm going to return a man. I go there, I meet people. I'm in a place where I've never been. I establish what academic pursuit I want. I learn how to become efficient. I learn how to take care of myself. It's a rite of passage, and I didn't break no law. I ain't gonna say me personally because I broke a few laws in college, but I didn't break no law. I didn't destroy a community. So I'm rewarded at the end for my perseverance and my hard work, a degree, which is supposed to mean go into the workforce and get your money, right? Now, when you are able to go to the penitentiary and get a bachelor's degree in 2 years on the internet, I feel a certain way about that. Like, nah, that's not good. That's just me. It's just personal, Kamar. Nothing against anybody who ever got that degree in jail. I'm just saying, I feel like, nah, he should have had to get an AA or something and come back
Hey,
home and
it ain't always on the internet, but I get what you're saying. It is other stuff. It is other life building stuff that you pick up when you do go to college.
right.
But you got to remember too, a lot of the brothers that's going to college in prison, they passed that. They done blew
Okay.
those opportunities. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
So
That's
now
true.
they
No. You're right. You're right. You're right. But I'm just saying. So, but I still feel a certain kind of way because I know what I had to do. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Come
Hey,
on. I
look,
hate to
and then
see it.
they
I
can,
hate to
hey, and
dude
they
get a
may only
bachelor's
do it
degree.
in that little time because that's all they got is time.
I know. I just I don't. When a dude get a bachelor's degree in 2 years, I'm salty. I'm looking like what? No, 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 no. You know
Hey,
what I
but
mean?
that
Like,
there, hey, but that should tell you though, let you know, like shit, ain't no motherfucking excuses.
there we go. That's true too. And so I have to understand it. I'm gonna have to borrow from you and say, I see it both ways. Cause that's what you say all the time. Both of
Yeah.
y'all right. I be thinking, no, man, I'm right, man. Come on, Kamar. Just say it one time. Kev right on this one. I'm fucking with you. But no, you're right. But so it's okay though. It's okay. And so if a brother say, Kev, you can't tell me that I didn't sacrifice and put time in, and I didn't even have a high school diploma, bro. I went to college, got my went to jail, got my GED. Then I got in these college classes. I took them. I'm gonna give you your props, but I'm still gonna feel how I
Right,
feel on the inside,
right.
right? Like,
Cause you went the whole distance.
man, I've been all through grades, come through grad school, goddamn doctoral studies. It took like 8-9 years, bro. It ain't. It wasn't sweet, man. But shout out to you if you on that, man. See, we can celebrate even
Right.
even in
And then you know
disagree.
you look at it too. Hey, you know you look at it too, like like shit, they going in there and they working on bettering themselves.
This is true. This is
You
true.
know what I'm saying? Because that's the whole point. That's you know what I'm saying. Make ourselves better.
And that's what I went when I initially left. I didn't know what the outcome would be. I didn't know what. I just said, you know what? I feel like if I do this, it's gonna help me better myself. That's
Right.
honestly how I felt. I didn't have no high hopes or nothing. I just said, man,
Didn't even
I'm about
you
to
didn't even know how it was gonna make you better
no.
yourself. You
I
just
just
knew
said,
it.
man, I'm gonna get out of Milwaukee. That was the main thing for me. I said,
Straight up.
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go somewhere. I don't know nobody. It's a chance for me to hit reset, right? Because I done
Yep.
fucked up to this point, right? So it's like, all right, you got a second chance. So shout out to you though, man. Shout out to anybody, man.
Man,
Keep
it feel
striving.
good. It feels good getting a new start.
I mean, come on, man. I learned so much just from just the fact that for the first time in my whole life, and I was 19 years old, I would lay in my room and I didn't hear no sirens. It
Right.
was the first time in because I grew up on Capitol Drive. So it's sirens, it's all night long. And I'm just laying in the room like, how can it not be any sirens? You telling me ain't no fire, ain't no
Hey, that's
murder?
how I was feeling when I went down to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? It was so cool, man. It was so cool. You ain't wasn't nobody outside bothering people doing nothing, or you know what I mean? It wasn't loud, wasn't no sirens. I didn't even see no police while I was down there.
I used to look out my window because I was in disbelief. I used to look out my window and just be sitting there. Like, dude, come on now.
Hey,
I might
it was
see
black
campus
people was
security.
taking walks.
Well,
Black
this
people
was
was
night.
jogging.
This late at night. This late at night, come on, because I'm thinking when I
Yeah,
lay down and go to sleep, but I'm looking out the window, I see campus security drive through. You see a couple people moving, but I'm like, no sirens, no, I don't hear no dog barking, I don't hear nothing.
right.
I had to get used to sleeping like that. So that's what I'm saying. For real, man. I'm like,
I
I didn't
feel
got
like
stalked.
you. I'm
Yeah. So,
feeling.
but I think instead of it being specific to my experience, it's more or less a moral to the story of any brother who gets a chance to, like you said, hit reset. Say, man, I got a chance to go over here and figure something out and do something. Honestly, at that point, it's bigger than you. It was bigger than me at that point, but I thought I was bigger than it. So I'm just saying, man, I had to say, like, because when I see a brother, he said, yeah, man, you know, I just got home. I'm like, yeah, like, yeah, I was just
right. And you know, I mean, I wasn't even, that's a whole nother level. Like, I wasn't even talking about that deep. I was just talking about like a skill set, learning the skill trade. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
That too.
You can go learn to be an electrician, learn to be a plumber, so you can get out and be able to sustain yourself.
It's the same process. I'm not a hands-on tool guy, but I've always had jawbone, no diddy. Since I was knee-high to a flea, I could work, I could speak, right? And so I learned how to refine that tool. That's what I'm saying, like, because I put the time into it. I said, man, I got a chance to study communication. You know what I'm saying? So I was into the shit, Kamar. I was doing college radio and shit. It was like, dude, I'm doing the newscast at noon. I'm doing the basketball games, color commentating on the basketball games. I'm like, kid, you into this shit? I'm like, yeah, man. So it was a process. And you know, I see Dion, I see you in the chat room. Earl Henning says school. Yeah, school education, man. Educate yourself. Dion said, boy, we in this bitch. He said outlaw for life. Yes, sir, absolutely. Outlaw family, y'all come on in. Please share the show, share the show, share the show. I really enjoy when I'm just strolling, sometimes scrolling, and I see Outlaw Radio pop up. I'm like, damn, somebody shared my shit. It's a dope feeling. Earl said Donald Trump was fucking them babies too. Are we gonna get to Trump? We gonna get to him. He said, man, I'm one of the real ones. Dion said, man, he said, man, I'm one of the real ones. Okay, that's what's up. All right, listen. Once again, I told y'all I had a weird flex. And this is a weird flex for me because have your woman ever done something for you and you probably didn't understand it at first and you probably kind of minimized it, then you thought later and said, dog, that was some cold shit, right? So I talk this FBA shit and I talk about why I feel like, you know, we are the true Americans. And, you know, I don't necessarily identify. I know that there's some African genealogy within me, but I don't identify as an African. I don't really have a great relationship with Native Africans who are in America. I refer to them sometimes as tethers, respectfully. But so she got a temporary free joint with Ancestry.com, right? Not the DNA joint, because I ain't spitting or pissing in no envelope, but just in terms of the paperwork, who your family is. How far does your lineage go back? Based on what your mama maiden name was and your daddy name and your grandmama's maiden name was. See, people don't understand. You got your father and his last name, but your mother had a maiden name when she got with him. So now she got a whole other side of her family. My wife looked up as many relatives on both sides of our family all the way back to 1850 because it doesn't really go past 1850. And man, I started learning about things about my great-great-grandparents and some of my people that I didn't know. My great-great-grandfather was a real outlaw. he was an outlaw to the point that we got a fake last name. I had heard this story from my uncle, and so I said it to a couple of family members. I'm like, yo, you know, my uncle told me, you know, that great granddaddy, da. And it's like, nah, man, he don't know what he's talking about. He lying, woo, woo, woo. We go back and look in the paper and it's there. It's there. I say I'm a Barnes, I'm a Mitchell, I'm a Mallet, I'm a Martin. I'm actually not really a Mitchell, I'm a Frazier. Because he was a Frazier who had done something to a white man in Arkansas and had to run to Mississippi, stay with a family, and took their name on. So he became a Mitchell. So
wow.
Right. So, and then there's a long line of because you can see draft cards, birth certificates, marriage certificates, census. We went through census from 1900, 1940, 1950, 1960, reading off all my uncles, aunties, who's in the house that time, where they was at Mississippi. It was crazy, Kamar. I'm telling you, it's a weird flex for me, but I said, man, you know, that was some dope shit. Like, cause she's on that shit. Like, no, I'm adding to the family tree. I'm making sure everything is represented. And so I was just blown away, man, just by some of my relatives who I may not even have known was in the Army. Like on my mama's side, there's white people involved, right?
Mm-hmm.
White people. I don't know if they owned us or what, but somewhere along the way, they went to openly marrying black women. And this is how my family is part of my lineage. So I'm like, damn, Master done been all up and through her. You can't tell me I'm not an American. You can't don't that kind of strip me of my Africanism a little bit? Like, hey, way down the line, there's white people there. So, it was dope, man. And she's still on it, man. She for real. She like, no, I'm finding out who everybody was. We putting out calls to older relatives, like, now who was Ely May? Who was Jesse Tim? Who uncle's name Napoleon and Xavier and shit in 1855. So it was crazy, man. So shout out to my wife, man. That was a dope thing she did for me. I feel like I know my family to a certain extent, but I talk about like where, how far back can you trace your lineage? And I know that there's some black people who may be able to go back further, but we couldn't get anything past 1840. So my great grandparents were slaves. My great grandparents were born right after emancipation, and then it just goes forward, right? So it's crazy, man. Crazy, man. If you ever get a chance to do it, just look into it. Like, she trying to go through everything. She see, like, I'm trying to do this before they charge me for it, and then I'm gonna have to get rid of it. So she's compiling information. Sharita Shaw, how you doing, my sister? She said FBA for real. Mama Jenkins said, good evening, my outlaw family. It's amazing when you start digging and found about who you belong to. And Sharita Shaw said Arkansas or Alabama. See, and that's what was crazy for me, because my mentality now, right? How I've been, how some of my relatives have been, a lot of my family has always been left of the line. Like, they're just not normal people. Like, we just do. I got a lot of crazy people in my family. And then when I learned that, dude, my wife actually went and found an article from like 1892 from Arkansas, and it names my great grandfather and said he got caught. He didn't get caught, Kamar. He got away. Him and his guy, he had stole some meat. Said salt meat. He needed help carrying it, so him and the dude was carrying it. The police got behind the other dude. He dropped his and gave up. They went to shooting at my great granddaddy. He hit it and escaped on the riverboat. So I'm guessing that's how he pop up on the other side of the river and meet my. See what I'm saying? Outlaw shit. He running, police busting at him. I'm like, wow. I get it now. I get my lack of scruples, man. That's what's up. No, it's dope, man. It made me feel real good, man. Jeff Crape said, what's good, fam? Shit, I might call tonight. Hey, man, it's all good, man. Our line is always open.
It's funny you said that, right? We be up at the Phoenix. Me and Mr. Courtney, we be talking. It's this paper we got talking about ancestors. How many ancestors it took for you to get here? In the last 400 years, it took 4,092 ancestors just for you to be here.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot of sex.
Think about, right. But just to what you just said, though, you think about all the different stuff that had to happen.
Yes.
In order for people to meet. You know what I'm saying? How intricate that had to be. You know what I'm saying? All the way up to where you at right now.
Bro, I had a snowball's chance when I left Milwaukee in spring of 1997. I had a snowball's chance in hell of getting a girlfriend. Not because I couldn't get one, because I had absolutely positively no interest in that at all. As far as I was concerned, I was a player and I was a football player. I was a star athlete. So ain't no girlfriends, dog. What we talking about, man? This is, it's what we do. Here's this woman that I meet who coincidentally is from Mississippi by way of Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Right.
End up with 2 kids by her. Right.
Everybody from Mississippi.
Right. And it's her grandmother, my mom and her grandmother connect instantly because
we are magnetic. We are magnetic beings, like attract like energy. Like, it's crazy. I really think sometimes people do attract like that, just like that.
Man.
And then y'all still together after all this time.
How in the fuck somebody stay with my ass this long? I'm a hot
That's
ass.
wild. That's why it's deeper. It's bigger than you.
Right. So yeah. Let me go to the chat room. Sharita Shaw said, yep. Milltown Mikey Davis, what up, family? How you doing, man? For life. He said, what up, fellas, man? What's going on? He said, good looking, Kamar. Good looking, Kamar. Okay.
All the time, Mike.
Jeff Crape said, my wife is from
anytime.
Mississippi. I love to see that. I'm glad you was able to help that brother out or whatever, man. That's dope. That's family shit. People don't know about that, Kamar.
Yeah, that's
we need to maybe we don't go. You go live with OG, but I feel like, damn, maybe I should share my life a little bit more. Then I'll be like, no, it ain't your motherfucking business.
Hey, you know what OG is like? Is it ain't my life really? It's all our lives.
Right. It's for me. It's like a lifestyle almost. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
OG.
It is.
Even though you know,
it is.
I don't consider myself an original gangster, but I get the meaning in it. Like I get the, okay, you were once here, now you're there, but you're older now. So where's it at? What did you learn? Right. What did you get from this? What's your level of development? Jeff Crape said, my wife is from Mississippi. Sharita Shaw said, Kamar, talk your shit. This is you. Look, so we was talking about that magnetic thing that you, and so it ends up like I had no clue. I didn't. I just know I was like, damn, you know, I need to shit. What the fuck? And June will tell you, he like, man, I ain't never seen this dude act like this. Dude is the most not him, right? I'm like, nah, man. So when we first converse, it's like, yo, you know, I'm from Milwaukee, bam. Oh, I'm from Lambert, Mississippi. You know, we moved here when I was like 12. You from Mississippi? Yes. And from there it was just like, because my mother and my father, my grandparents, all my aunties, uncles, Mississippi. That's where my family comes from. Leake County and Itala County in Mississippi. Nobody don't live nowhere. He live in Texas. Nope, his ass live in Mississippi. My father and them went to Chicago, so I had family in Chicago. My mother and them went to Detroit and Milwaukee, so I had family in Detroit and Milwaukee. But everybody's from Mississippi. So that connection was made, and then it was just like on from there because we spoke the same language in terms of what, if your parents was from down there and they was really country, you had a certain lifestyle. You ate a certain thing. You heard certain words. You had to do certain shit. It was like Mississippi parents, like they raised you like their parents raised them. So it was a hell of a connection. But you know, I'm not trying to be boys to men or nothing. I'm just saying you don't never know. They say you want to hear God laugh, tell him what your plans is, right? Because you have no clue where you're going. You have no clue what you do. You don't know. If you bless, you'll be led, right? If you have discernment, you can kind of navigate the path a little bit better and more efficiently. But you have no clue where you're headed. So that's why you got to be the best person you can be. So along that journey, you don't get caught up in some bullshit. More on that another show. But I'm just saying. So shout out to my wife for the ancestor registry shit. It was a good look, you know, seeing my great grandparents' marriage license. Married in 1893 and like who knew that this was gonna create the Kevster in 1975, right? I hope they looking at me like, yeah, that motherfucker right there. It make you even think about that, Kamar. If they looking at me, I wonder if they're saying, you know what? That's what we wanted. That's how we wanted our family name to be. That's how we wanted it to go. You never know. Anywho, shit, I got that off my chest. We don't get into some other shit, y'all. It's so much controversy popping in Milwaukee. And I think the one to start with, Kamar, is this, because I said this on the show the other night. I thought the whole kidnapping case of the young brother, 6, 7 years old, whatever he is, I thought it was suspect. I thought it was very strange. I thought it was very weird. And then when they say, okay, his dad was arrested and his mom was arrested, I'm like, okay, what's going on? I don't know if this is true, but the latest things that I've heard is that this was an attempt to play off the heartstrings of people and start some sort of GoFundMe, lay low, get the GoFundMe money, get him, and then mash. This is the latest development I heard. I don't know if this is true. I'm not a lawyer. The opinions expressed on Outlaw Radio are solely those of the motherfucker who said it. Know who to be mad at. That's our disclaimer. But this is what I heard. And she is locked up and there's no charges. You know, people have put her picture up and but then the footage comes out and people are critical of the father because he hid it. He ran in the house, left his shorty outside. While they were snatching up his son, he was getting into the crib. So it just blew up in a whole bunch of different directions. First of all, people were critical of that. Then there was a thread that said, "All you motherfuckers criticizing dude for running, but y'all don't pay y'all child support." You see how this, and you see how divisive this shit gets fast, right?
Right.
But first of all, let's just talk turkey. If I'm outside, and now, first of all, somebody else said that apparently somebody had a strap on him. I don't know any of this to be factual, y'all. So if you his cousin or something, you ain't what happened, motherfucker, please feel free to call in and tell us what happened. But they said that I guess somebody had a gun on him, or maybe this was a drug deal, like this was a drug debt. You heard all these things. The fact of the matter is he ran in the house and he came out and said, "No, my son was fighting and screaming just like I taught him to. Yeah, I ran in the house, but it was an extreme situation." I'm like, no. If you pull up on me in front of my house and you grab my son, you gonna have to kill me. There's absolutely no way he's going with you. I don't care if you got the gun out. I don't care what the fuck you got out. I'm
You
gonna
never
tell you.
even got a chance. I don't even think that's the way it looked on that video. It looked like they was coming for him.
Okay, and grab the boy.
Right. One of them went for him. One went for the boy. Is the way it looked. The way it went on the video. Right.
Okay.
What broke my heart was hearing that boy holler out for his daddy.
And you done ran in the house.
Did you catch that ring cam video where the boy was screaming, "Daddy"?
And he ran in the
house. How the fuck can you leave your son, man? I don't know what was on that. I don't know what was on his mind. I ain't gonna talk down on. Gonna talk about me. I was never one to crack under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Bullets flying, all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I was never one to crack under pressure and panic. And you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I can say, like most people say, you don't know what you'd have done if you was in that. No, I can say, I know me. When you get in hard situations, you know what the fuck you gonna do. You know how you act. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, I know me. I'm gonna talk about what I would have did. I'd have stayed the motherfucker got out the car and took off running straight for the door when he seen the niggas. He ain't look for his son or nothing.
I would have been running towards my son.
Listen, man, I ain't going nowhere.
No, I'm not going in the house.
I ain't going nowhere.
I'm going towards him. You could, hey man, just let my boy go, man. Nigga, you can take me, bro. Let him go, man. For real.
They probably wouldn't have even looked at his son.
They probably would have pushed him and grabbed him.
You know what I'm saying?
He might have been unalived.
Straight
up.
So
did he save his life? Some people might say, no, Kev, he saved his life because they got the boy back and he's still alive. If he'd have just sacrificed
in hindsight.
Right. He didn't know that when he did it though, right?
He didn't know what was gonna go down. Now, since then, like I'm on YouTube, I'm watching this shit, watching different shit. And it's different stuff where I heard somebody saying something about they think he may have had something to do with it.
Right. But that's what I said. They said it was like a drug debt or something. Like
exactly. Well, I mean more like trying to get some money out of the mama, because the mama was got a piece of change somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The mama got a piece of change. They was flashing different videos. You know what I mean? They got diamonds and rings and necklaces and all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And they saying that it may have been like a ransom, supposed to be a ransom type thing.
So you Facebook flossing?
You know, right?
You flexing on Facebook? Okay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mom. Now I ain't saying that's her fault either. I doubt if she got anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about the shit, like you say. If y'all know, call in and let us know. I'm just talking
this all alleged.
Yeah, just talking about the stuff we saw on videos. You know what I'm saying? And our perception of it. That's it.
Ewok said, man, I heard
it could be deep like that, man. And then they got a video. My bad, but one more thing. They got a video of a brother coming out shooting at a car. He said his brother said he thought it was somebody coming back fucking with them.
I did see that the brother, yes, he was arrested.
But it was supposedly, they say it was somebody that was out looking for the help and looking for the kids, circling the block and shit.
Ewok says, man, I heard it was a GoFundMe scam. That's what I was referring to. And that's just me just navigate. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at the shit like, because it just seemed weird, like a
Now,
broad open
how
daylight.
did the money? Now dig this. They say it was a $50,000 reward what the family was put out there. You know, before that happened.
Okay.
So I was talking to somebody today, and they was like, "Well, how they pay that money off?"
Did the money get paid?
Well, you know what I mean? That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? All the shit gonna come out, dog, because you
All
know
of it.
the shit gonna come out. They gonna snitch.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna tell it.
And you know, people, you know, I think more often than not, people get worried about kind of like the wrong thing. Yeah, it is a shame that he ran and left his son, right? It is sad, and it's but it just didn't. You gotta get your antennas up. Black people don't usually do broad open kidnappings of children, right? Especially at gunpoint. So if it goes there, it's like, yo, it's something to that. That's not random.
Yeah,
that's
and
not random.
The way that brother got out that car running, like almost like he knew what was going on already. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't stop and look and then see the niggas and run.
Yeah.
He got out the car running right away. Seen them coming, or you know, or he knew it was happening. I don't know, man.
Down and
I feel
out.
bad for that boy.
Down and out, man.
That little boy was scared for his life, man.
Yeah. And he may be traumatized by that for a long time. If
the way he was running up that, the way he ran up that driveway, he was calling for his daddy when that man picked him up.
And that's who your son's supposed to call for when he in trouble.
Yeah.
Anyone
he calling you, nigga. He calling you, nigga, and you in the house.
Wow. If anyone, come on, my children, my daughter or my son growing up, no matter what was going on, if they said, "Daddy, I am there," I'm talking about. You hear that? Is they calling me? I'm like, it's an alarm. Me and my wife, but I'm just saying for me, definitely in that situation. But I think that the moral of the story here is being careful about what you do and how you move, even whether or not it was flexing on Facebook. Somebody has to be the voice of reason. Say, hey, you don't want to do this. Like, I'm glad y'all having money, but y'all know these motherfuckers are come and rob you, right? This has happened a million times over, right? Somebody somewhere flossed.
Hey, shit just keep coming to me off this shit I saw. Like they adding shit up, right? Instagram. The dude who got arrested was one of old girl Instagram friends. She wound up blocking
him. Okay.
I think she blocked him before they found the boy or some shit like that.
That's nasty. That's nasty right there. That's nasty work. I don't even want to speak on the possibilities of that. Right? That's
what I'm saying. Like, there's so many questions, man. I just and I'm gonna tell you another sad thing. There's a boy gonna grow up and he gonna learn all about this shit.
Right.
He gonna see this video of his daddy running and leaving him.
Yeah. How the fuck do you manage that when you get older? What's that conversation like when he's 19?
That's a long ride. That's a long ride. Long, quiet ride. Like
my daughter was about 8. We had a transient person or I don't know, mentally ill individual. I don't know what this dude problem was. He had been coming in our neighborhood and he would knock on people's doors and be like, hey, I just got dropped off by a cab and I don't have no money to get home. So do you have $5 or $6, right? Which is then when you open up the door, I kick the door and whatever. So he had hit our block and I was sitting in my garage chilling like I'm more often than not. I don't know why this particular night I had Petunia with me. We're going to call her Petunia. I don't know why I had Petunia with me that night, but I was sitting in the garage. My daughter, Daddy, it's a man beating on the front door. Mama's scared. I very calmly said, you go in the house and lock the door. I came up on the side of the house and I'm like, hey, man, what's up with you? He like, yo, I need this. I said, man, ain't no money here. Ain't no money you can borrow here. Ain't no cab here. You got to move around. And he was kind of like, no, but bro, you don't understand. And I waved Petunia inadvertently. I wasn't trying to flash it. My right hand just came up. That motherfucker looked at me and said, pew. He didn't even look back. To this day, my daughter brings that up. Like, Dad, I remember I was so scared and I came and got you. And then all of a sudden you walked up on the side of the house and he was gone and he never came back.
Mm-hmm.
So my point is, kids remember.
Yeah.
They remember when they needed you, when they wanted you, when they was calling for you. How did you respond? Right? Like,
answer that, man. Or they
imagine
was
if I
trying
had
to
a
rob me. They was trying to, I thought they was gonna rob me. Well,
right,
nigga, I thought they was gonna kill me.
right. So you be quiet. Your ass say you made it, motherfucker. Right.
Some
Imagine though
bullshit.
how different that story would be if I'd have ran in the house and locked and say, everybody lock the door and get out.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, that may make him look at his father a hell of a lot different when he get older.
Absolutely fucking right it is. Come on, man.
Straight up.
My father had them moments, man. We caught a dude trying to steal our dog in like 1978. Pops had the 12 gauge on him. He was, come on, blood, please, don't kill me, blood. Me and my brother was so entertained. We thought it was super dope because Pops had the 12 gauge on him. Like, I blow your motherfucking head off. He was trying to steal our dog, man. So yeah, you gonna think about it when you young, man. I mean, when you older, man. Shout out to Orlando. Orlando said, "What up, family?" Orlando got in his feelings the other night, man. Anybody who said anything against Orlando in the chat room, he went and responded to every last comment. Orlando told me he putting y'all on notice. He said he putting y'all on notice, man. Orlando said, anybody who insults me and disrespects me, I'm at their ass. I said, okay, what's the problem with that? Right? He's like, no, man, I thought you, no. If somebody insults you, man, you got the right to respond, right? Like, I'm not. And anybody who spits out, like, you insult somebody, you can't get mad if they come back at you. You got to be like, I did call this motherfucker a punk, though, So, yeah, Orlando went. He got petty LaBelle on these fools, man. And I kept seeing notifications, Orlando Owens. I'm like, I started reading them. I'm like, he went to every comment where somebody said something about him. And he just responded, man.
Hey, you can say what you want to somebody, but you know what I mean? You don't know what they're going to say back.
Right. And be ready for it. Be ready for it. Ain't gonna be no mercy. I'm gonna be like, shit, you motherfucker, you did call him this. Oh man, but you shouldn't have said that, Kev. You should have left my daughter out of it. Hey man, ain't no rules in no fist fight, man. You do what you got to do, man. But yeah,
look, it's as simple as this, right? It's as simple as this. I told her, me and Orlando went to the store the other day, and I said, I'm like this, man. When I find out where we don't agree, we don't go there no more.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about what we don't agree on. Why? You know what I'm saying? That shit just don't make no sense when you think about it. Like, why is me and this guy, I think about Trump, so why would I talk politics? You know what I'm saying? You're fucking your own piece up.
But if it comes around, right? So sometimes when shit's rotating, if it comes around and you know the topic, there's no need on me poking the bear.
Well, I ain't talking about the podcast. I ain't talking about
I'm saying period.
Podcast,
I'm saying period.
Like he come to the store. He come to the store. Me and him ain't talking politics. We didn't say nothing about Trump. No, nothing.
Right.
And we had a great time. Right. We had a great interaction. You see what I'm saying?
Just like when he's come to my house.
If you know what you don't agree on, you know what I'm saying? And
talk about something else.
And you this type of motherfucker, talk about everything else. You ain't got to talk about that no more.
This is why people ask me why I fuck with Orlando. Why you let him come on the show? Because like you said, he's come to my house. We done kicked it, sat up, talked, just joked around, boom, boom, boom. Like brothers, wasn't no Republican, wasn't no Democrat. So I get what you're saying. And so, but when you go on it, like I said, I'm not going to poke the bear because I'm not going to intentionally say, watch, I'm finna get that dude. I'm finna make dude mad. No, I'm just going to be like, hey, man, whatever, man. That's why I tell anybody, you're not going to see me arguing with a MAGA person. You ain't going to see me debating with a Trump supporter. It is a supreme waste of time. I don't even
want that energy, man. I don't even want that energy, no.
Look,
shit, you know what I'm saying? Because people say it don't bother them. You know what I mean? People say that it don't bother me. It don't bother me. You be arguing with a motherfucker and shit. But that shit bother you. That's why you argue.
I know how it goes. I watch your response.
Right.
I watch your response. And believe me when I say communication is more than just verbal. Non-verbal communication is going to tell me, oh, shit. Oh, this motherfucker bothered, right? Sharita Shaw said, fuck that, Orlando ain't shit. Ewok said Orlando told on us. She said, Kamar, fuck him. She said, bring that shit. She don't give a fuck. She's standing on what the fuck she said.
Let me be peaceful.
Yeah, you know. Let's just say she chose violence. She chose violence. He said,
I'm keeping peace around me, man. I'm keeping peace around me. I choose peace.
Orlando said,
I done had enough for all the banging and all that shit. I'm tired of that shit, man.
He said, Sharita Shaw, now that's funny, like you are. Ewok is in the chat room. Shout out to Ewok. He said, do be using the platform to play games and tap dance. He said, or Sharita Shaw, and the same to you. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, if he uses the platform to tap dance, and like that's fine. Like, I'm glad that he can find something to use it for. I would hope that anybody finds something that they could utilize what we do for something. Come on, I hope it ain't all for nothing.
It's only tap dancing to those who feel like it's tap dancing. To him, it may not be tap dancing.
He knows it's tap dance. He does it on purpose.
Maybe he do. Maybe he don't.
I can tell you one thing about Orlando Owens. He's not dumb.
No, he ain't by far.
He is not. No, he's not an idiot. He is very aware. He's very intentional. He does. There's a method to his madness. He does some shit to some people. My wife calls people like us agitators, right? She said, you're an agitator, because once you figure out how to get somebody's goat, if they piss you off, you go right at them, and you know how to do it, right? And so Orlando is intentional, right? Now, whether he wants to, whether him with his Republican shit and all that, I don't fuck with him on that. He already know that. We done had fire breathing arguments about this, but you know, it is what it is. One thing I won't let somebody do is push my buttons. That's another thing. And I, after listening to the show from the other night, and we had Joe call in, and Joseph Walker, and he, you know, kind of came in, and I think most people thought, well, he's setting y'all up or he's buttering y'all up, because at first he was like kind of agreeable and just, you know, everything was cool. But then eventually it got to the points that he's made so many times on Facebook about Black people and these problems, and what a dread to society we are, and all this kind of stuff. That didn't bother me at all. Hey. And I want any white person out there right now who's listening to know there's very, very few things you can say to me that's gonna get me out of my character, especially when it comes to political stuff, social stuff. Like, what I'm gonna do if I don't like it, I'm just gonna say fuck you, and I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm not gonna come out my being.
I'm gonna be an agitator right now, right? Because see, everybody's gonna not like this statement. This is what I'm going to say. Are y'all ready? No, I'm just but listen,
disclaimer.
Here's what I see. I'm gonna tell you what I be seeing. I'm just being honest, right? Orlando don't be sending those shots at nobody. I always see everybody sending them at him first.
Right.
We can look at the way the show just went. Orlando ain't said nothing to nobody. And now they going in on him once they found out he was in the chat room.
He will come at you, but he'll do it in such a passive aggressive way.
No, I'm saying he ain't gonna start it.
No.
I don't never see him starting shit with nobody. Now, I done heard he done been talking. He'll call in and be talking and mention Dion's name or something like that.
And shoot one at him. Shoot a stray at him.
And the shit take off too. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the time, it because it already done started in the chat room.
He's the nigga you love to hate, man. He's the nigga you love to hate, man. And he wears it. He has a fuck you. He has what they call it, a shit-eating grin on his face. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man.
They feeding into him.
I mean, I think people got the right to.
Hey, look, they building this Trump thing. They don't even know it. They building this Trump thing.
I respect them too, though, because
the Trump supporters love him. They building. To
hear a Black person talk like this during these days and times, it is very frustrating, right? And we've always, we as foundational Black Americans, we are always frustrated with what appears to be a Uncle Tom or Coon or Sambo. So when you start talking outside the code, it is the thing to say, man, fuck this sellout ass dude, right? Yeah. But he's playing. I dig it. He's doing that. He might really be a passionate Republican, but he's doing that over here because he loves the attention. Come get me.
Yeah.
Look, I'm the bad guy, right? I'm Charleston White with a Republican T-shirt on. Sharita Shaw said he's a puppet, right? Okay. Let it go. Give it to him. If he gonna stand on it, Kamari got to stand on that shit. Dion said, dude, garbage. Orlando Owens said, Sharita Shaw, for what? You don't agree with my position, and I don't agree with yours, and you are a puppet for what and who? Let me see. Telly Nellum. Shout out to Telly Nellum, man. One of my old school homeboys, man. God, dog. Jesus. One of them dudes who you done knew for so long, you don't even remember how you met him. You just like, I always knew him. How the fuck did we meet? I don't know. We just always knew each other. Shout out to Telly. He said that's growth, famo. I mean, understanding is understanding, you know, and disrespect is disrespect. Dion said we don't respect no black person who voted for Trump. He said we hate that nigga for real. Dion said we hate that nigga for real, Kamar. What the fuck? You should absolutely not hate another black person for their political affiliation.
I don't hate nobody.
I don't either. I don't even hate my enemies.
I ain't even summoning that energy, dog. Straight up. I ain't even summoning that energy. He can be the way he want to be. Because he be it over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't ask about the shit. I don't talk to him about it. We don't talk politics. We may talk about situations, but not politics.
I don't hate anybody just because I disagree with them. You got to do some other shit to me for me to hate your ass.
Right. You got to do something to me.
It got to be bigger than a disagreement about politics.
You got to do something to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
For me to give you that energy.
Ewok said we don't like being lied to by sucker ass Tim Scott wannabes. Yeah, let's go then. Give it to him. Hey, listen, it's a free platform, y'all. Sharita said, fuck him, Kamar. She said, Sambo for real. Hey, no filter, man. Shit, what it is. Telling them said, what up, gentlemen? How you doing, bro? How you doing? Kerry Walker Jones said, laughing my ass off. Dion said, this is Orlando. He said, Dion, stop the cap, Sugar Bear. It's stupid. Come on. I'm trying not to do it. I'm just saying.
It ain't you. It ain't you.
I've never wanted to do a tabloid. I don't want to be Jerry Springer, right? So I be trying to just keep conversations civil a lot of times, and then sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I should just start letting motherfuckers just go and just go at each. Then I'm the Black Adam 22, right? Minus the cucking and shit, but still, man, I be trying to keep some order and some structure because there are people who really listen to the show for the information. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times there's people say, nah, man, I listen to the show and I hear stuff that I didn't know, or y'all talking about stuff I didn't know.
People don't know when you get upset like that, you know what I mean? That hate, that shit is detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
Hate is a form of stress. It's not a good energy. You know what I'm saying? It's not peace. Anything opposite of peace is chaotic. Chaotic is stressful. You know what I mean? Chaos is stressful. So it's detrimental to your health. Your body pushing off cortisol when you go into stressful situations. And too much cortisol for too long periods of time, high blood pressure,
diabetes,
all type of shit. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? That's why I said I ain't digging into that shit. My thing be my solution with people, like I said, my solution with people who I disagree with, I quit talking about what we disagree on.
Or quit talking to them.
Yeah, or quit talking to them, period.
Right. I don't think they hate him though. I don't think it's real. I don't think
it's real hate either.
No. Because hate mean, I'm looking for your ass.
I think they hate his ideals.
Yeah. And we hate to hear a black person speaking what seems like speaking against us.
Right.
Like you ain't even with us.
It could be anybody speaking like that you know what I mean, they would say that about, right?
Right. You know, like I said, I feel like we and rightfully so, we should be aware of those amongst us who really are not with us, right? Who don't have our best interests at heart. I don't believe he is totally that person. I believe his political beliefs and affiliation are different from mine. Definitely different from mine. his ideologies and methodologies are different from mine. But if I detected for 1 minute that he was like a coward ass, ignorant ass, counterproductive ass, I would not even entertain him. You know what I mean? But I, like you said, Kamar, we've sat up and chopped it up, and it wasn't nothing about politics. It was just about brothers and shit like that. So, this is Ewok in the chat room. He said we can't allow people like Orlando nowhere near our camp. He gonna tell our plans to the white man for a pat on the head. Lord have mercy. Ooh, shit. Sarita Shaw said, let loose. Orlando said, Sarita Shaw, foul mouth, nasty woman. He called her a foul mouth, nasty woman, Kamar. That sounds like old school, right? Well, you foul mouth, nasty woman.
That's a triple OG there.
Like he got a vest on with a pocket watch. Telly said, go ahead, bro. Don't hold back. Be you, LOL. Yeah, I mean, give it up, man. It's Outlaw Radio. Will A. Fortune, what it do, man? What it do, man? What it do? Welcome to the show. He said, facts. Ewok, I mean, yeah, this is Orlando Owens. He said, Ernest Walker, what camp is it? Camp Go Along to Get Along? Okay. Ewok is coming back at him. He said, fuck that. Let him be him shit. He's the spy. You can't chill with the enemy. He doesn't just have different opinions. He will lie to protect white bullshit. Damn. They going hard on this brother. Dion said he's a pancake who used to be a Democrat. Oh shit. Now we getting deep, Kamar. Now you done flipped. You was peoples, now you folks. You getting deep on him. Now you was a Crip, now you blood. Oh shit. What they call them, Transformers. Sharita Shaw said, Orlando is a plant. Damn. Wow. Okay. Well, like I said, if you insult him and he insults you back, it is what it is. Everybody has the right to their opinion. All I ask is that you don't disrespect the platform. And that's what I was alluding to with the white guy who called the other night. He, in his attempt to troll or whatever his plan was, it was fine and dandy. I would have probably let you get your shit off, but you disrespected the show. You disrespected the platform. You disrespected the microphone by trying to dominate it as if the person who speaks the loudest is correct, that is always right. That's not the case. Just because you loud don't mean you're right. And when I try to establish order on the platform and you refuse to abide, I am normally going to hang up on you. I have no problem with it. So it wasn't really about him disagreeing with us or, you know, his opinion. And then he tried to get personal. He started to go at, you know, like it was like he was with us the whole time saying, yeah, I'm going to get these motherfuckers. They don't know. I know them. I know everything. I know everything about you, Kamar. You like, what you mean you know everything about me? Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, you been spying? I see you on TikTok. Come on, man. That shit was many. It was many. It was stupid energy.
Hey, I told him thank you.
And it was dumb energy. And I was thinking, like, because I seen you snap on a person before for saying certain things, and I'm like, I hope Kamar don't let this dude get his jizz. And no Diddy. I mean, you know, I hope he don't let him get under his skin. And you was just like, psh, what? Psh, come on, man. I don't know if it was the weed or what, but you was unusually cool.
Man. It's just something. It's something I'll be working. I told you. I think I said it on the show before. You know what I mean? Like y'all saw me lose it on the show a bunch of times. But that's just something. It's a new level. Something else that I'm working on right now. You know what I mean? Like it's always. You always got different anger issues that you can fix, right? Or that you can get over, learn to deal with, learn to handle better. But then it's always another level you got to go. You know what I mean? It ain't never over. It's always something else that would upset you. You know what I'm saying?
If you ain't learning, you ain't living.
Exactly. You know what I mean? But just with stuff like that, man, you know what I mean? Again, it go to keep trying to keep the peace. Keep my peace. It ain't about
your peace. Keep your peace.
Them. I'm keeping my peace. You know what I'm saying? That's that cortisol is detrimental to my health. You know what I'm saying? To stay peaceful.
And I can't really get mad anyways because I'm the one who puts the platform out here. So I can't be mad if somebody call in and be like, yo, fuck you, fuck you. Only thing I can say is, all right, I hear you and hang up. Right?
Yeah,
like you hate if I didn't put it out here, people wouldn't respond to it. So I'm not tripping. I'm just not gonna let you disrespect me either. I just walk away. Like I say, the best thing I do to a motherfucker when I don't like him is just walk away. I can hurt you more by not ever dealing with you than I can by beating your ass, because then that's gonna be repercussions for me. This is Orlando going at Ernest. He said, Ernest Walker, you sound like an old fool. He said, Sharita Shaw, a plant for who and what? You just talking. I'm talking BS. And this is Ewok. He said Orlando still lost the tap dancing contest to a one-legged white man. Carrie Walker Jones, what to do, my sister? She said Trump was needed to expose the true nature of America and just how many mental motherfuckers that are here. Damn. Pulling the curtain back on a fool. Sharita says, Kamar, you always been that dude. Stop it. Orlando says, Ernest Walker, buck two. No, this, yeah, he said Ernest Walker, Ernest Buck two stepping. Ernest Walker, Ernest Buck two stepping. He said he's buck dancing. So look, the other thing that I found out, this is this is mainly news too, and you think about right now what's not going on in Milwaukee. But there was a death of a 4-year-old, and this happened right after the whole Element shooting, Element tragedy. And there was a 4-year-old who in Brown Deer, I believe, and they said the 4-year-old was shot. And so I read through the story, you know, once the facts start to come out, and this is a case of a man and a woman and alcohol, and him being the kind of dude who beats on the mother, and he's got guns, and him and he's threatened. The 10-year-old boy tells the police that he threatens to shoot up the house and kill her and all this kind of stuff. They get into a fight. He grabs the 4-year-old, takes him upstairs with him, and closes the door. And all of a sudden, a gun goes off, and the 4-year-old is hit, lying in the hallway, deceased. The crazy part is, after this happens, he and the baby's mother make up a pact to tell the police, well, a shot came in through the window and hit him.
Oh, dumbass.
I mean, so this individual, I don't know if he got the gun out and was like, you know, flexing it or whatever, trying to load it, and accidentally shot the boy. I don't know, but this is what, because you always, when something happens, you say, that's crazy. How did that happen? And then we get the details, so we kind of discuss it. He said he can't hear me. You can hear me though, right, Kamar?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all let me know if y'all can't hear me, because he said he can't hear me. That's your device, because I'm looking good over here on my board and everything. So, but yeah, so that was crazy, Kamar. And it just goes to show, man, that some people just shouldn't be having kids, man. Some people they just shouldn't be having kids, man. Imagine these two boys, 110, 16, who grow up in this abusive household, and one day the 6-year-old or the 4-year-old, I'm sorry, 10 and 4, the 4-year-old gets up murder. That 10-year-old's life is forever different after that. It's just like the young boy who got kidnapped. His life, he's traumatized. Unless he has a support system that's going to get him the help he needs. And he's going to need some help. You know what I'm saying? So this city right now, man, that's why I call this down and out, man. Like this shit feels bad, man. The energy and the mood in this city feels bad, man. It feels, and I've been here through some shit, Kamar. Like I'm telling you, I grew up during the crack epidemic. 85 to 95, I went from 10 to 20. I thought I'd never be shocked or appalled at some of the shit I seen go down during then. And I'm looking at this shit now saying, hey, man, this shit is getting worse and worse. They're still stealing cars. We just had a high-speed chase, and some innocent person was hit and murdered on Sherman and Fond du Lac just the other day. You work over there, so I don't know if you seen this scene or whatever, but somebody had put a picture up of this brother sitting on it, getting detained by the police, and he was covered in blood. But I guess he was in a high-speed chase, and he tried to run a light, hit somebody, killed them, jumped out the car and tried to run. This is on Sherman and Fond du Lac, I think 2 days ago. So this is still happening. Our leaders have no answer. And every time something happens, all I'm hearing from downtown is, we need the community too. We need the community too. I get it. But that's not what we want to hear from y'all. We want to hear y'all come up with a plan. We don't need y'all to tell us what we need y'all to do. Hey, you get a check to do this.
You know what? A lot of the time they forgetting that community is doing shit. Like you got Vaughn Mays out there at every one of the fucking scenes and shit. And something goes. The little boy missing. He got people gathering, looking for the child. The community is doing shit. Y'all getting paid for this shit, and y'all ain't doing enough.
Shit, man. That's what I'm saying. There should be this all black everything done failed miserably. Remember what was that 4 years ago when we had all black everything? Remember, I was trying to be positive. Y'all was shooting me full of bullet holes on the show. We had everybody. We had the black 7. Is it just me, or is the city is worse off than it's ever been since we've had these all black officials?
Well,
I'm not trying to come off like
they the scapegoats.
Okay, that could be true too.
You know how that works.
That could be too.
See, it didn't work when we let you niggas do it.
But if you're in there, but okay, so if they were in
now
here,
y'all beat it with gentrification.
If there was innovative leadership coming from them, I would say that y'all scapegoating them. But when I look at a police chief who's just trying to leave, and I haven't heard a press conference from him yet where he had any kind of inkling of a comprehensive plan, how to at least Fast Eddie Flynn, who was the police chief, had a plan. He tried to police using data. He upped the level of technology within the police department. He brought the shot spotters in. He was trying to police based on statistical norms and all this kind of shit and real, just like all these kinds of probabilities. This dude, I haven't heard him. All I've ever heard him say is, well, we need y'all. So I'm okay. Let me get to the chat room. I keep telling myself I'm not going to preach. Ewok said, on the real, he's hurting on the inside for being a sellout. He's still talking about Orlando. Orlando said, Ernest Walker, old man talk. Carrie Walker Jones, you are right. She said it's almost a feeling of doom. Like, yeah, you feel like it's a and I want to get into the whole Young Twan thing, the whole Tweezy thing, because I think that contributes to it as well, because there's so much doom and gloom expressed by the people who actually loved him, who had relationships with him. Like, you can hear and feel their pain when they talk about him, on how hurt they are. Orlando Owen said, Ernest Walker, an old fool showing your natural black ass. So here's the deal. Now, Kamar, the controversy became that I noticed this morning was there's video circulating now of this incident that happened at Element, right? And I don't know if this is the security cam footage and it shows the actual shooting. It doesn't show the whole scene, but it shows him getting hit by gunfire. I'm sorry. Now, I've seen people saying, no, take this down because his family is on here. Respect the dead. Y'all so disrespectful. This is some bullshit. Take this down. And then I seen people saying, nah, like somebody shared it with me and we talk about wanting to know the truth about a situation or how it happened. So you can't be mad at me for posting it or sharing it. So I want to get your take on, is it cool? Because I chose not to share, because I happened up on it. I'm like, I'm not sharing this. I'm not putting this in the People's News Network. I'm just not going to share it. For me, it's just like, nah, I'm not going to do that. But how you feel? You think a person got a right to just post it, or should they be reprimanded? Like, yo, take that shit down.
Well, I think it depends on that person.
Okay.
You got to know they're going to get a whole bunch of backlash. You put some shit up like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But then also felt like have a level, it should be some morals out you to where it's like you wouldn't want the family members to see that if they didn't want to see it. You know what I mean? Like, you posting this and one of his family members, a loved one, stumble across this.
It's insensitive.
They don't want to, you know what I mean? They don't want to see him getting gunned down.
Yeah. It's insensitive. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why I say it depends on the person. You can't really say you could say, okay, I would say this, it's morally wrong. But you know what I mean? The way social media is, different footages for different crimes, all that type of shit, it be public, you know what I mean, record. Now, I wonder that's what I wonder. How if the police leaked it? I wonder how did this footage get leaked like that? Who did it?
Because it's out here. It's out here now. It's out here.
You know what I'm saying? And that's who I feel like everybody should look at. Because you know, most people on social media, they looking for something to go viral with.
But then I seen first of all, let me get to the chat room.
And that's my bag, but that's where their mind is first. They ain't thinking about it. Because like something where they was getting at the dude who originally posted. You know what I mean? And he ain't putting it down. Well, he probably, hey, I don't know, but you know what I mean? Ain't no telling how views and likes and shares and all that shit. You know what I mean? And that's the type of shit people live for. You know what I mean? To go viral. Oh, it don't matter what it is. Motherfuckers just want to go viral with something. But like, and I just want to say that's why I'm so proud about the real OG. You know what I mean? Because motherfuckers been liking it and shit. And this some positive shit right here. Positive, fun shit.
Dion, you got to turn your TV down to something. I'm hearing Monday Night Football in the background.
Man, you hearing me in the van driving with no radio on or nothing. I'm going to mute you till I get to the crib then, because I ain't got the radio on. I ain't got nothing. So I don't know what you hearing.
I don't know. You listening to Boogie Nights or something.
I ain't listening to nothing. No bullshit. The radio ain't on. Ain't nothing on. I'm just driving.
Hold on.
But I let the window up and everything.
Let me get Maureen Bishop is in the chat room. She said, yes, that's exactly correct. Ernest Walker said the white people tell Orlando his race needs more people like him, and he be smiling big as fuck. He loves masses approval. That's why he a pitiful ass sucker. That's what Ewok said about Orlando. Carrie Walker is in the chat room. She said vote all they asses out so they get that raise from the sales taxes. Yeah, they gonna still get pensions, right? She said we need them to spend some of our taxpayer dollars and support local community events. This is Maureen Bishop, by the way, and community leaders. He walks back on Orlando's heels. He said, Orlando, nobody on this show likes you. Nobody on this show likes you. Kerry Walker Jones. Social media is the problem. We see too much. It used to be written and part of our imagination. Now we're being desensitized by watching actual murders. Now I will say it's cool, and I understand what I liked how Kamar put it. Like if you talk about from a moral aspect, depending on what your code is, but at the same time, there's millions of videos of people getting their ass whooped, getting hit by cars, getting murdered, whatever would have you, mishaps, fight videos where people really be getting their asses knocked are like the biggest thing. Like they generate so much traffic. So in this case, we want to say, nah, man, don't do that because the family watching. But I'm assuming everybody who's on here getting fucked up got some family watching somewhere. Like, damn, man, my cousin just went viral for getting his ass knocked out in the club. To us, it's just another post.
And hey, look, and people ain't wrong for saying take that down.
That's true too.
They ain't wrong either.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can say what you want to say, but you know what I mean? You got to deal with what people say back. Or you can do what you want to do, but you got to deal with what come back.
That's right. Dion, what's on your mind, man? It sounds quiet. I don't know if you muted up or what, but
no, I muted it.
Okay,
but I definitely feel him on that because I'm still, and I know y'all know, but I'm still traumatized on seeing young dogs get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit, man, that shit fucking me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, 'cause, you know, I really fuck with dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely feel them on seeing dudes get killed, man. Like morally, you know what I'm saying? Like just. If if leave that shit for motherfucker out of towners, you know, like you representing Milwaukee, we don't want to see that shit happen in the mill. You know what I'm saying? Like it's enough motherfuckers getting killed every day, man. You know, and I guess, I mean, I don't have nothing against the brother, you know what I'm saying? You know, we had some interactions back in the days when I was a little younger, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, just on the strength that he promoted positive, that's just like me seeing one of you niggas get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell nah. You know what I'm saying? Like, hell nah. Whoever posted it, you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to take that shit down. But I definitely get what you guys saying, how, you know, we see it every day. You know, somebody loved ones. We seen King Von get killed. We see shit. We have seen aftermath of motherfucking Martin Luther King and Malcolm X laying on the ground and shit. So, you know, I mean, I guess, but, you know, like, motherfuckers need to heal, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no healing. Hey, what am I about to say? Man, you look outside. It's fucked up out here. I'm just coming from Woodlands. Hold on, I'm about to meet you. And I'm about to open the door. Oh, well, no, I took my key out, so you ain't gonna hear that alarm. But yeah, it's dark as a motherfucker out here, though. But yeah, though, man, you know what I'm saying? That just ain't right. You know, it's some healing needs to be done. You know, people still, them wounds are still fresh. So, you know, let that man's family mourn. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, we don't need to see that type of shit, man, you know. And your guy, Orlando, I ain't even going to say nothing to dude because, You know what I'm saying? I just don't respect him on his views on Trump. You know what I'm saying? I don't respect nobody that voted for Trump. And you already know how I feel about that. Even if my mama voted for him, you know what I'm saying? I just don't respect him and shit. But you know, it is what it is. People have their political views, and you know, it's gonna divide us. You know, on the real. But yeah, though, man, let Tweezy rest in peace, man. That shit bogus as a motherfucker.
Yeah, I feel like he probably was Milwaukee's version of Mac Dre. Like, because Mac Dre was that kind of ambassador for the Bay, and he's held in high regard. When you hear people talk about Mac Dre, it's like with the ultimate reverence, the way he put on for the Bay, the way he represented the Bay, kind of like always held, you know, and a brother who actually went to jail for some shit he had nothing to do with and didn't snitch, did his time, came home, so they respected him as a real one. And I feel like dude was kind of that kind of thing for Milwaukee. Like, he was just somebody who get the party cracking. People like him. He's from the block, from the streets, but you're not overly consumed, as far as I know, by the streets. So, but the second thing was the conspiracy start now about, was this a hit? Like, I've seen, and even on the news, man, it's crazy that even on the news, the line of questioning for the reporter was this intentional, or was it just a random shooting? Was he the target of the shooting? And, you know, and I shout out to Ruben Anderson. I seen Ruben Anderson put up a post talking about, because of after he had watched the video, because of some of the movements that he noticed, like, and not to go into too much detail, but there were some people. There was first of all, there was way more people out there than I thought. I thought initially that they may have just been him and a couple other people standing out there, but there was actually a group of people. So when Sean Moore was saying the security should have came and made those people come in, I understand that more now. And shout out to Sean, because obviously he had seen this video before I did. So I do agree that there should have been some security guard to say, man, we don't want y'all to stand in front of the club like this. But in light of it being, you know, this brother's event, and him being a person who engages with people, and they're saying he was passing out wristbands or what have you, I understand that as well. But it looks and it appears as if some people standing behind him saw something coming. Like, it seemed their movement started to be like they saw something, like maybe the car. I don't know what they were looking at. But then the shots go off, and like, there's more people out there. Like, a lot more people could have died. It's crazy. When you watch how brothers was laying down and all this kind of thing, and then on the news, they said that they were shooting from multiple cars. What was this really? What was this really? And if it wasn't for him, who was it for? And for what? Not that it matters. Not that it would exonerate them, but some sense has to be made of this, because if it's gotten to the point where we're that random, where it's just like people who are really riding around, like, let's just go to a place where there's a bunch of people gathered and just open fire. That is a bigger problem than we think it is. That's very troubling. So, like I said, I don't know what I'm waiting. I always wait until the details come out, or as many details that are going to come out. You know, but like my brother said, rest in peace to that brother. You know, it's tragic. But also the other brother who lost his life, the brother Dubs or Bubs, I didn't know the brother, so condolences to his family and the other people who were hit by gunfire. Shout out to anybody who was there, because if you were there and they missed you and hit two other people, you might be suffering from survivor's remorse. You're traumatized as well. Like, I could have literally lost my life right there. So this is crazy. Now, I did bring Orlando in so that everybody can be happy. Orlando, what it do, man?
You got it, my brother. How y'all doing?
I'm holding on, man. You here to piss the people off further. What's on your mind?
You know, I'm not really worried about that. That's a little fun. That's all that is, you know. So people know if you want some, you can come get some, whatever. But now, on a serious tip, though, I'm trying to put together some of the things you said tonight that you think it could have been. I missed your opening, so I didn't know about the young man. I guess if you call him a young man who ran, left his son outside. Are we thinking there's some backstory to this thing? That there's some, you know, because I'm seeing it on you know, TikTok and everything, how he ran out of the house after the car pulled off, and nobody jumped in the car, and so I'm like, okay, is there something behind it? There's a connection. And he was making some assertions that, you know, one of the guys who got caught was somehow related to the sister. So you think it's just, there's something to this thing?
No, what Kamar had referenced was that one of the guys who was arrested had actually been the mother of the child's Instagram friend. And so she had blocked him at a certain point. I don't know that anybody was related to her, but we alluded, it's right now, it's all just speculation. And we can, we can make some assumptions based on what we know about situations and how things go in the streets. But I don't have any hard facts to support that there was anything other than a kidnapping. But when you look at it, and the news, what we depend on is the local mainstream media, they have come out and said that there's some information there that made me think this was suspicious, right? It looked shady. There was the speculation that it might have been a GoFundMe thing. There was some speculation that it might have been a drug thing, or whatever the father was involved in kind of put everybody in jeopardy. The biggest thing that was controversial about it was the fact that he ran in the house and left his son out there. So like whatever caused it, whatever they were doing, that is what it is. Now, if it was a conspiracy to say, okay, let's get this GoFundMe money, maybe that's why he ran back in the house. Like, I already know they ain't gonna do nothing to him, but you played your part too well. And I find it hard to believe that it was that intricate of a scam. So we in a holding pattern. We don't really know what this was really about. We don't really know yet. Now I'm looking at the chat room, boy. Y'all is crazy. Who is this? This is Carrie. I read that. This is Maureen Bishop. Okay, we already read that one. She said that. I got a little behind y'all. Got Carrie Walker Jones. Shout out to my Outlaw family. Y'all please share the show. This is Orlando insulting Ernest. And you are an old fool. Grow up, pitiful excuse for a human being, bottom dweller, bottom feeder. He called him a day walker, Kamar. What the fuck is that about? He called him a day walker. He said Ernest Walker, fool. He said, I'm still on shoe shine, boy, sell out ass. In the shows you've been on, nobody has agreed with you. Your dumb ass is still thinking it's because you're smarter than us all. Get your square ass somewhere and sniff some more white ass crack. Y'all are really bugging tonight, like, right? Like, what's going on? Orlando, you on the line, man. What's going on, man?
Oh man, I've always respected your platform and Kamar, even when the show was had different hosts and everything. You were one of the first shows that gave me a shot to come, at least give my viewpoint. Agree or disagree. Everything Kamar said is so accurate. I mean, I came to a spot and about a spot away. You need to go check out Kamar because I'm coming again because, man, I was feeling good that day. I felt a nice little release that day, Kamar, buying some of his product. But, I mean, on the real, I think we have established a friendship that even though we can joke a little bit, we can get serious, at the core, I think that I actually care. My care for the Black community may not be the same as far as the actions, or I'm a little bit more, whatever the case may be. But again, Ernest and all the rest and Dion, it's part of that is this, tomfoolery. Some of these guys are just, I don't know, they're just stuck on, stupidity. And I let that go. Some of these foul-mouthed women talking like, trashy talk. But again, it's all good. I got broad shoulders. I ain't no little dude. But we have to be able to agree and, to disagree without being ugly. I don't mind a good, calling a dozen and Ernest trying to say people booty licking. Ernest, you got an old name and you got an old man thinking. So you got to be old. You just old all the way around. But, it don't bother me like that. It don't bother me like that,
Wait, what's an old man?
And I'm serious because I laugh at both of them too, right? I tell them to stop this shit, but I still laugh at them. Right?
What's an old man name? What's his name? Nicodemus or something?
Ernest.
That's that bullshit. That's that bullshit right there.
So nigga's name is Ernest.
So I'm gonna ask you now, since you on here, is Trump implementing Project 2025? Is he implementing Project 2025 as a yes or a no? That's it.
Yes, Dion.
Okay, that's it.
You got it. The jig is up, Dion.
Yeah.
The jig is up.
Yeah.
Yes, Dion.
Yeah. I know you think it's funny though. You think it's funny, but everything that he said, he's doing. He's dismantling the Department of Education. He's doing everything that he said. But you was on here. We go back. Oh no, that's just something that the Democrats is putting out here. Blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, me myself personally, I don't care that you're a Republican, but I have seen way smarter more educated, more qualified Republicans talk against this man. Michael Steele, Charlie Sykes, and the list goes on and on and on. But you still sitting up there, you and Tim Scott, because I put y'all together. You know, y'all damn near look like Siamese twins. Y'all sitting up here cheering on this man. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whatever he do, and you see how he's fucking the government up. You feel what I'm saying? So everything that you, I care. You don't. You don't. Yeah. Because the man told you what he was going to do, and if you believe what he was going to do and you see that he's doing it now, he's kicking people off Medicaid, all that, regardless of whatever you want to say, is going to happen 2026, 2027, because he put implementations in the bill that a lot of those is going to run after the primary. So a lot of the shit, they be like, oh, he's not going to do that, blah, 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 blah. No, he's not going to do it right now. After the primary, with some of his minions get reelected,
you mean the midterms?
District,
you mean the midterms?
A lot of that stuff is going to kick in.
You mean the midterms, not the primaries?
Yeah, but they got to be yeah. You know what I'm saying? The midterms, but still though, you know what I'm saying. So this man is doing everything he can. But see, the whole thing is with him and Stephen Miller. You know, that's another thing. You know, do you know who Stephen Miller is? He's really the architect of Project 2025. So the whole time this man, your guy, was running on his campaign, he was sitting up there lying in front of us. But MAGA is falling apart, and they're falling apart over some simple shit because they feel like the Democrats are the ones that's on the Epstein list. But we see videos and pictures of Trump and Epstein sitting there with young. I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to be like, he's not it. Donald Trump should have never been reelected, and he should have never been elected the first time. You know what I'm saying? That's plain and simple. He's incompetent, and everything he's doing, he's going to destroy the United States of America. And it's people like you to sit there and support it and won't tell the truth about it. And you've been lying to us, and you would get on here, oh, I care, and you know, blah, 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 blah. But we even heard you say, no, the Project 2025, that's just something that the Dems is putting out. Y'all can't believe it, but if you read the manual, it's going step by step. It ain't skipping no pages. It's step by step. Now I'm about to use y'all because I'm putting my shit in the air fryer.
Now, Dion, I mean, Orlando, I am mad because Trump fucking with his credit, putting the medical bills back on the credit report. That's gonna torpedo a lot of people's credit rating. That's sabotage right there. That is foul of him to do. And I know you probably gonna make an excuse for it, but it's foul, especially when that is something that assists people to get their credit, especially in the black community. If you can take your medical bills so that they don't count against you on your credit report, you can get your credit up to 650, 700. Then maybe you didn't have a surgery. Maybe you had a sickness or illness, and they can put this back on your credit report and your credit rating falls. So it puts you further behind. So that is foul on your boy's part, man. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. I mean, I know what's wrong with him, but it's foul.
Well, I'll start here with Dion and his, this unhingedness. I've always said from the beginning that Project 2025, there were some things in there that I actually like, and a lot of conservatives do, like the elimination of the Department of Education. But you look at Trump Agenda 47, there were some similar things. We as conservatives voted for this right now. And I get it. Some, like Dion and, the rest of the Taliban in the chat room, don't like Trump, and they decide lost. They didn't say nothing when Biden was, dead men walking, fumbling, dumbling down steps and, falling off bikes. That was all gravy, baby.
But no, wait. That's not true. That's not accurate, especially on this platform. That's like saying we weren't. Well, all of us, I think we were all in tandem to say, anytime the Democrats, I think that's a misnomer. So let me say this, and I'm gonna let you finish. But anytime a black person speaks out against Trump, Republicans always fire back with Biden, like Biden was our guy. Like if I say, man, Trump is making mistakes, then they start talking, well, the Democrats, without knowing whether or not I'm critical of Democrats as well. As a matter of fact, this is why we call ourselves, and we've been saying this for a very long time, we are the party poopers. We poop on both parties, meaning we shit on both parties, because their treatment of us in this country has been egregious, and we've been underserved, and the Democrats are just as guilty as Republicans are. So you can't say, well, you talking about Trump now, but y'all wasn't saying nothing when Biden, blah, blah, blah. We did. We were critical of Obama. We've been critical of anyone who's sitting in office and they're supposed to have our best interests at heart that are not doing their job. So I think that's a little unfair for you to say, no, y'all wasn't saying nothing about Biden.
I'll take this. I'll take this. I think it's fair to have a comparison of the records of what president has done. I'll say that.
Well, but you don't say anything about the good he's done. You're gonna, of course, I can pinpoint. Well, you say, well, Biden this and Biden did do some things. Biden left a very strong economy that was probably the best economy in the world. You cannot deny that. Trump inherited it, and he's since fucked it up.
So
the information out here supports that.
How do you get there, Kev, when I can look at the unemployment in the black male community, the black community, in particular black males, that has been under Biden that didn't pop? But I know you don't want to say, you don't want to compare records, you know, because
whoa. Go back to black unemployment. Even when Trump announced a historic increase during his last presidency, it was like 0.2%. So do you think Trump has improved the black unemployment rate? Is that what you're telling me right now? Show me those statistics that show me his policies have made black unemployment go down. Show that to me right now, or don't use that.
What I'm saying to you is this, Kev. If you're going to hold the Republicans accountable for the lack of black employment, then we got to hold the Dems who supposedly love the black.
We are critical of both parties. What you don't need to explain that to me. So that's like you preaching to the choir, and nobody on here is that democratically friendly where we don't call it out when they have a misstep. It goes both ways. Okay. The way we say it in the hood is anybody can get it. That's what this is. So you're not on a platform or dealing with brothers who are just going to say, okay, I'm going to say something bad because it's Trump. And then with Democrats, it's like, oh, boss, we sure feels good. That is not the caliber of brothers that you're dealing with. No, so ain't never been that way.
I will give it to you and Kamar. Now, Ernest and Dion, they ain't nothing but Democrats. So for real, and half the women in the chat, I'll give you and Kamar because I've talked to you guys off stage or whatever. So I get it.
You just made an assumption that he said they all just some Democrats, Kamar.
Well, they are. I think you are what you say. Them cats, they got Democrat T-shirts and Harris T-shirts, and I wrote about, so they at the gay party, so they doing it.
Yeah, see what I told you, Kamar? He slips one in. He said they at the gay party. Look here, man.
Trump at the gay party too. That's why the Epstein files won't come out.
Epstein.
You support a pedophile.
Ooh.
So when we look at the things you said, though, brother Kev, I agree with you that you were critical of the triumphant three. You have the mayor, you have the county executive, you have the police chief and the sheriff. And the Fantastic Four does shut the door and let the GDs in or whatever, how they used to go.
My God.
It's wild out.
That was the most horrible usage of the GDs in the dough that I've ever heard. Listen, nice try though. Hold on, let me get the chat room, Orlando. Let me get the chat room. She said, this is Kerry Walker Jones. Shout out to Kerry Walker Jones. Y'all still got time to get in the conversation. Phone number 262-202-5131. Chat room's popping. She said, why do women have to be foul-mouthed? She said, why do we have to be foul-mouthed? That lady like shit went out the damn window. Oh, that lady like shit went out the damn window when men start relying on us to pay bills and hunt to gather. Oh, shit, she went right at the brothers. She said that lady like shit went out the window when they had to start paying bills and getting the food. Oh, shit. Sharita Shaw said, I told you about Orlando. Ernest Walker said, I ain't no Democrat. Orlando is retarded. I think that's what he's trying to say. She said, not Dems, just not dumb enough to vote for the devil in office. Okay, so here's the deal. Like, I think, once again, there has to be a safe space for us to agree to disagree, because ain't nobody going to turn him out, and he ain't turning nobody else out. But I think what the problem comes, Orlando, when we start to make assumptions, right? So my assumption is that since you're a conservative, or you identify as a conservative or a Republican, you are a sellout. Your assumption is that if somebody disagrees with the Republicans or votes democratically, that they are a Sambo Field nigga who's, as y'all put it, stuck on the Democratic plantation. So either way, on both sides, there's assumptions made. And I don't think neither are true, because I have an uncle who will tell you right now he voted for Trump. and he's an old man, and he has money. He worked his ass off to get what he has, and he'll tell you he likes Trump. He's not a sellout. He's a businessman. He's not a coon. He's not a Sambo, but he bought his paper. He's like 75 years old, and he's worked for 60 years building himself up. So he'll tell you in a minute why he doesn't like the Democratic Party. He can articulate it. Why he doesn't agree with some of the bills. And so I can't say Unc, you's a sellout. Or I can't tell my uncle, I hate your ass, old ass nigga. Right? Like I can't, but I don't agree with him how he votes. I mean, he votes with who he feels has his best interest at heart. As a person who has money and has accumulated some wealth, some of the tax breaks that because Trump does for rich people. We know that. He favors wealthy people. And so his big, beautiful bill kind of stipulates that. It says, if you make under this, if you make over this, those are two things to say. If you make over this or if you make under this, here's the two sides of the fence. So I said all that to say any president that we've ever had has been openly criticized, and rightfully so. I think when we stop being critical of the things that we don't agree with, we lose what makes our country unique, and that is freedom of expression and freedom of speech. The problem comes when one side thinks they need to dominate the other and squash them because they disagree with them. Like, I don't feel like we need to go at each other. I get why people coming at you, because you do poke the bear on them. I mean, you just said they was Democrats at the gay party, Orlando. You just told them that.
I think it's time, right? I've been more than collegial, you know, and I think you kind of set it up that I don't really go at, so I don't set it off, but I don't mind finishing it though, because I will finish it, because I don't know what cats think it is, because they're not sweet over here, and they're about the foul mouth women. You know, she's talking about some boys. I don't know what men do. Men don't do that. Men do, and we handle business. But all I'm saying is this, Kev. You were right, I believe, in your assumption or your assessment of the triumphant dynamic four in the city. It hadn't changed. In fact, to your, some will say it's gotten worse. Where is Chevy and David? I know you close to Dave, right? But what's
I wouldn't
really
say I'm close to him. He's an acquaintance of mine. I can't say I'm close to him. I've had some conversations with him.
He's amenable, right?
Yeah,
and
I know
the question is what's going on, and I'm not necessarily. You say, I'm not necessarily knocking them, with the police chief and this, that, and the other. The question I have, or not even the question, the statement is this: it hadn't produced anything that you can write home or want to tell anybody to go out and support again. So why are they winning 70, 80% at a clip? Because again, there's not enough free thinkers. There's not enough people holding these individuals critically. You can't win a common council seat if you're not part of the boule and the Democratic machine. You're going to lose every time. So again, I just asked the question, what you get for your vote? Why, or what the mega, well, what the Dems do for the city? y'all got the city. You got the city, and some say you got the state.
You just did exactly what I said. Anybody who's critical of Republicans or Trump, you flash back and say, but the Democrats, you don't deal with the question. You don't deal with the issue.
We've never run the city, though. We've never run the city.
You've run the state, and you almost ran it into the ground. That's why Skippy Walker got his ass booted.
So my question is, again, you have Democrat after Democrat. I mean, Kev, we got it. You said it yourself. You don't see much, things getting better. So I'm going with your thought. So what is getting better, Kev?
I don't think that they're failing because they're Democrats, though.
They're failing because of what?
I think because they're not good leaders. That's why I think when I see a Republican failing, I don't say it's just because he's a Republican. I say it's because he's a piss poor leader. Leadership is leadership, no matter where you're standing at. When I don't see innovative out the box thinking, when I don't see innovative out the box thinking, when I see people who have agendas to kind of corner certain kinds of power and certain kinds of influence, like I see some of the micro transgressions that Trump, just his everyday mentality, how he goes about things, it energizes racists. It energizes white racists, like white people who have been racist and sitting on their feelings for years, have a battery in their back when Trump shows up. You're going to encounter way more Karens and way more Kevins, not me, but I guess this is what they call them. White people attitude is way more Brody when they have a racist in the White House. And you can't deny that fact. You can't deny that fact. You can disagree, but you can't deny if you haven't had any encounters, and we see every day people who have encounters with these MAGA people. You might
So
not be over the top with it, but they are.
so-
But you're also not a white man, so you
So
couldn't
why you
possibly
assume these
understand it.
are? Well, why are you assuming bad behaving white folk are MAGA? 'Cause I don't see that.
Because of the things
I
that
see
they
bad
say.
behaving.
The things that they say. I'm not assuming without hearing them out. Listen, I'm gonna take you for your word. When you say certain things, I always say this: words mean something. Now, you might, when you talk to somebody who don't understand words or don't understand, who don't comprehend, maybe you can get by with saying certain shit. I'm not one of those individuals you can do that with. So when you express your perspective, I'm already instantaneously going to know what your perspective is. I'm gonna take you for what you say, and I understand what you say. I have the gift of discernment, so you can't fool me. You can't double talk me. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm talking about these individuals. So it's just like I said, when we had Joe Walker, I already knew what was coming. I already knew his mentality, and it turns into, oh, black people got this victimized mentality. Y'all the issue. Y'all the problem. Da 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 da. That's that same old regurgitation of racist fucking propaganda that comes from the other side. And that's just creating false narratives about black people, because there's so many hardworking black people who want to be a part of a positive community, who get their ass up every day and go to work and bust their ass to get the things they have in life. So to slap us with some kind of title of, oh, we're lazy and we're shiftless, the majority of you all have excuses and you're victims, it's just not accurate. It's just not true. And
Well,
I won't let somebody say that.
I don't know the dude, right?
He's
But
one of your people. He's a Republican.
He's not one of my people.
He's a Republican.
So again, you talk about the broad brush, Kev. You're broad brushing right now.
You agree with him. He's a Republican. He's a conservative Republican. When I asked you the other night, you was just kind of like, yeah, I kind of get him. Y'all both Republicans. Y'all both vote the same way. Y'all both speak to Trump the same way.
You're doing that, Kev.
It's not a lie. It's accurate. I'm not lying on you. Go back and listen to the last damn show.
Kev, but it's not accurate, Kev. I'm not saying you're lying. It's not accurate, right? Just because you and I played football don't mean we both are on the same level.
You goddamn right. But if we was on the same team, we still teammates. So it don't matter.
But we may not be on the same level.
It don't matter. Yeah, you didn't play, but you were still on the team. Y'all still on the same team. At the end of the day, y'all teammates.
Again, I don't know any Republican that I know, that I'm around, says things like, yeah, all the black community, all the
he said the majority. He said majority of black people. Or whatever.
Well, I don't know anybody who says stuff like that.
I just find that hard to believe that you don't talk to Republicans who maybe they don't say it around you, Orlando.
So maybe what it is, Kev, maybe you getting some day walking Republicans and bottoms. Well,
what the hell is a day walker? Hold on, let me get to my chat room because I want to know what the hell a day walker is. God damn it. Hold on. This is Ewok. He said he's a sellout because he would lie for the racist Republican Party. He did the shit Monday, and you just said fuck it when he started tap dancing. I said fuck it. I let the man talk. I said fuck it.
Ewok's an idiot. He's an old fool.
Maybe I did. Come on, maybe I did. People could be mad at me for saying.
Hey, look, y'all gotta remember this is a podcast where people gonna have other points of views. That's the purpose of it. We gotta let them talk. If you don't like it, that's cool. You know what I mean? You just don't like it. You'd be all right. You know what I'm saying? Call in and say what you gotta say. That's all.
But I just told you too, I'm actually cool with Orlando. So yeah, I probably do show him a little favor and do let him talk. I mean, like I said, we do have it's not like he just calling in trolling the show. It's been 7-8 years. Orlando been on Outlaw Radio, and we've had these debates over and over. It's usually the same conversation. And when he calls me on the phone. So yeah, maybe I do give him time to talk. But I do that for anybody as long as they don't disrespect the platform. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm just a motherfucker who like to talk to people.
I guess maybe they can't admit that. I guess they can't understand, like, actually, you and I are friends. I consider you a friend. So maybe that's a problem because friends all got to think alike. I don't know.
And I hear what he's saying, though. He's sounding like he's saying, like, I'm basically like, yo, I know you're going to tap dance and I don't, I guess I just let you go, which I do. I can admit that. Shit, what's right is right. What's wrong is wrong.
The tap dance, I guess, is who we go. If I wanted to give a more, a little bit complex answer that is not, I'm not going to say yes or no to something, you consider that tap dancing because I'm trying to set up a much broader conversation. Now, someone say, well, you tap dance. Let's say yes or no. It ain't yes or no. sometimes.
Well, you have tap
It's
dance on some shit.
bullshit.
You have tap dance on some shit that was just yes or no,
It
Orlando.
ain't yes or no.
Bro, I know
wanna
a
set it
tap
up before
dancer when
get
I see one. You done Sammy Davis Jr. some shit. Like, check this out, babe.
Well, Gregory Hines too.
Look,
you see how he tried to be like, oh, but you know what though? This is what I don't like about anybody that's a Republican. They sit up here and point
anybody.
Yes, I'm gonna paint. Because wait, hold on, no, don't interrupt me because I didn't interrupt you. This is the thing I don't like about Republicans. They sit up here and point at the Democrats, but any policy from Social Security, from housing acts, from discrimination, all type of things, anything that you have benefited from, even if you use the ACA. If anybody in your family had to use we're not going to say Obamacare, the Affordable Health Care Act, you should have wanted to say, you do not use this shit. That nigger Obama did it, and I'm going to pay this goddamn medical bill for you, and don't use it. Don't accept no food stamps. Don't use no housing vouchers. See, that's the whole thing I don't like, though. All the policies that we benefit from Social Security, unemployment, FMLA, it's just the list goes on and on and on. Democrats enacted it. And we can go back because I know a lot of you Republicans like, well, the Democrats were the one that owned the slaves. We can go back when FDR was up in there, Teddy Roosevelt was up in there, and they passed all those legislations, from the 20s or 30s. Those were Dems. Like, even though they were the old Dixiecrats, but still, though, we all benefit from that. And then now, so Ronald Reagan ain't did nothing. Nixon ain't did nothing. Gerald Ford ain't did nothing. The first Bush ain't did nothing. Second Bush fucked up the economy. Trump is just garbage. You know what I'm saying? You can't name out of none of them Republicans anything that they passed to benefit the common man. You cannot. Because they didn't. Because the Republican Party is not for the common man, people like you and I. But for some reason, the little policies that this ignorant ass do, first of all, Trump ain't educated. He has no political background. So he's a puppet, and that's real life talk. Stephen Miller, Project 2025, the conservative daughters, the Confederate daughters, there's so many so many conservative think tanks that got behind him because they know nothing that he's coming up with right now was his own thing doing. So he's trash. You feel what I'm saying? He got, what's the one, not Stephen Miller, what's the other guy, the one that looked like they're drunk? I can't think of the name. Even Elon Musk turning against him. But I can't wait till these Epstein files come out. But like I said, though, so that's the thing I don't like about Republicans. You got Republicans in Texas that went on file. They was on video. We will not take Biden's money. And I'm talking about these white people are serious. Now they down there to flood or killed their ass, and I'm glad that it did. I don't give a fuck because I don't like white people anyway. So one less white person living on the face of this earth is a better day for me. And I stand on that. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, so like I was saying, and yes, I do talk with hatred because I don't like them motherfuckers. I don't care. This is my personal opinion. I'm for real. I don't like white people. I don't. I really don't. I live with them. They like ants to me and flies. You got to live with them. You can't get rid of them. So they stay in their corner of the world. I stay in my corner of the world. And that's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no friends with white people. I can't pick up the phone and call none. It just is what it is. We both live in the world, and that's it. But my whole thing is, when you have these Republicans that sit up here and they be like, all this, that, and the other, and now they want money from the federal government. They'll be like, I don't want the federal government helping. Now you want to turn to the federal government and say, please come help us. No, either it's going to be either or. You know what I'm saying? You can't have it both ways. So that's what I don't like about Republicans. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to mute the phone because I'm cooking still. You go ahead and land because I know you're going to get on your soapbox.
Well, hold on. Let me go to the chat room first. Kerry Walker Jones, I should say, says they're always trying to label you if you don't agree with Trump. You worried about a woman being foul-mouthed, but you're not worried about why a man raping kids and having felonies. This is Ewalk in the chat room. Man, chat room on fire tonight, Kamar. Ooh, we need y'all to share the show, though, because Facebook been playing with our numbers. People been telling me they can't see the show. And they do that to us sometimes because we'll see shows with numbers through the roof, and then all of a sudden we way down. I guess they really trying to say you need to buy something. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Fuck that. He said, you ain't no man bowing down to the white man, Orlando. You a good nigga to them. They don't even toss you a bone, sucker. Sharita Shaw said comprehension is a motherfucker. It is. If you can understand, if you have some understanding, a person can rarely get over on you verbally. Like if you have an innate understanding of language and communication and stuff like that, it'll get you a long way, because in order to be an effective communicator, the gist of this is you have to be a better listener than you are a speaker. People think it's the reverse. Like conversations are supposed to be two-way conversations. One is the speaker, one is the listener. A lot of times people don't listen, they just talk. So as a result, they talk themselves into circles or dead ends. You have to be an effective listener to really be able to conduct a good conversation, a strong conversation. Kerry Walker said, boys to men, men to boys, that's a singing group. The truth is that most of y'all relied on a woman, so respect her voice. That's a part of the reason he in office now. A lot of black men disrespect the black woman. There's nothing but foolishness in a man or a boy who does not respect a woman's opinion, period. Ooh, Kerry, you are lighting it up tonight from the sister's perspective. I will say this. It depends on who that woman is. Okay? Eve bit the apple. Let's keep it a buck. And I don't think a man should be led around by a woman. That's just my personal opinion. You should respect your woman. You should respect all women. I have a daughter, so I respect women. But I'll never be led or dominated by a woman. There's certain things that I'm not going to allow a woman to say or do to me that would jeopardize my masculinity. Once again, I don't believe in disrespecting women, but I think there are a lot of women who disrespect men as well. See, it's 50-50. There are a lot of women who, for whatever reason, are very, very toxic. And it is a real thing. So I agree with you in that a lot of men do depend on women these days, but not all of us. I feel like there has to be some credit given to those of us who say, nah, I'm a real man. I handle my business and I respect my woman at the same time. You know what I mean? So I think it's a 50-50 thing. Go ahead, Kamar.
I think statistics show that more black men voted for Kamala Harris than they voted for Trump.
Black people in general, yes.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm just going to say more black men because she was saying black men didn't vote for her. The black men didn't vote for her because they didn't want to vote for a woman.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying more black, you can't bet on black men because black men did vote for Kamala Harris. More black men voted for Kamala Harris than voted for Trump.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a statement that's shooting at all black men, I feel like.
I know brothers who said they wouldn't vote for a woman too. My brother's one of them. My brother's one of them.
I know brothers that said that too, but you know what I'm saying? I really feel like, but you didn't vote that way. You didn't vote for Trump because of that.
No, I voted for her still.
You see, that's my point.
Yeah.
Men say that, but you know what I mean? And so more black men voted for Kamala Harris than black men voted for Trump.
And okay, how are we carving this out?
Because from the comments she said.
Right. No, I'm trying to say, how are we carving this out to say, well, all black men don't live off women?
Right.
Not all. When I say, well, not all conservatives, like this dude, whoever was, because I missed the conversation, I did listen in the replay. So how is all Republicans the same way? Because we own the same team. So all men are on the same team. So all men is what she say we are? Because you just made it very clear, like, no, sister, I respect you, but you wrong on there because some men respect women but I would never have. She just went through this whole thing, how you tried to define a very broad statement. So when I said the same thing, Kev, in the same focus, but not all Republicans don't think. I don't know what this dude is or how he get down, but that's not how the people I'm around.
No. You keep saying man, Orlando. That is a woman. That's Kerry Walker Jones. She's a sister. She's not. He said this dude said, but hold on. Now she's responding. Hold on. Let me get the chat room. Give me a second, Orlando. Ewok says the only fool here is Orlando. He just doesn't know it. Sharita Shaw said there's no political party no more. Kerry Walker said the best male leaders have a woman's opinion in their ear. I said a lot of black men, not all. That is true. And that's what I was trying to clarify. You didn't say all. You said a lot of, which is kind of like a neutered statistic. A lot of people, that's not like a real, like, so we don't know. We're not talking exact percentages.
It sounds like saying most black men voted for Trump when you say a lot.
When you say a lot, it does sound like you're saying the majority of y'all.
So that's why I felt like, that's why I said what I said and why I felt like that. Like, and you know, we could talk about the black men that's on this platform. It ain't. I mean, Orlando probably the only black man on this platform that even voted for Trump.
See, I felt like she was speaking on something bigger than just Trump, Kamar. It sounded like she was speaking on just.
Yeah, exactly. You know, because
it didn't sound like she was speaking to that. It sounded like she was just saying also, like black men are in a weakened position.
And this is also a platform where black men ain't like that.
We try not to.
And I'm saying this. So if we're using that same thing,
off women.
All Republicans can. All Republicans have the one cat. Like, well, he on your team. So all Republicans can.
Well, see, no. Well, once again, I never said all. I said y'all on the same team. You got it. Words mean something, Orlando. Don't say I did. I said something I didn't. And your sentiments. Hold on. And I'm also saying that because I've heard you express some of the same sentiments that he expressed on the show last night. I've heard you say it, whether it be on the air or off the air. So that's why I said that. Now, hold on. Now, you hold on. And to my sister, Carrie Walker Jones, I think women they have a right to feel a certain kind of way today, right? I think they have a right to look at men in some cases and some of the men that they're dealing with and say, this is just foul, this is bad. But I think what y'all got to understand is it's the same thing from our perspective. Because we see a lot of negative women. We see a lot. Men don't think that men are out here, single men, just meeting great women every day, just dumping them, right? All y'all sifting through the same sewage. So we gotta remain kind of like even keel on, okay, it's probably 50% bad men, probably 50% bad women. And it's very hard to find somebody that you can jive with for real. Like, that's just the reality of it. If it was easy to find a mate,
bingo,
everybody would have one.
Bingo. Everybody have one, right?
It's a real crazy process. And I'm here to tell you, even when you think you got the right one, and sometimes even when you got the right one, it's still hard. It's still difficult. Now, I like what you said about strong leaders having a woman in their ear, because I think strong men should have a woman. I think if you are a strong, intellectual, heterosexual male, you should have a woman. You should, because I'm looking at a brother who gets our age and ain't got no woman. I'm like, what's up with this dude? Why he? And same we look at an old woman and say, why she ain't got no man? So
I'll be done crashed out some motherfucking wear if Tyson wasn't in my ear, dog.
I mean, that's what happens though, right?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? She right on that end. You definitely.
And there may be certain situations that you've assisted her with that she can say, no, he really stood for me that day because I needed it. But that's what a good relationship is. And it's hard to find.
Exactly.
You don't just wake up and be like, I found my soulmate.
Right. You know, and the thing is, I think a lot of people rush into relationships too fast, so they get their heart broke more often.
Or they get disappointed.
Because it ain't easy. Like you say, it ain't easy finding people that fit your lifestyle or you fit their lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because really it's got to go hand in hand. Y'all got to fit each other's lifestyle first. And then what happens in relationships when the lifestyle be toxic and foul, one of those people usually grow out of that lifestyle and then the relationship don't work no more. You know? So like like you said, Kev, the shit ain't easy.
I think expectations play a big part into it, Kamar, because
Yep.
A lot of times your expectations are here and that person is not clear on that, right? Like, so people who are about to get married, I have friends all the time who say, Kev, man, I'm about to get married, bruh. Can you give me some advice? Like, right? Like, what should I do? And I used to say, don't ask me for advice because I don't have any. But my advice now to you is, if you get married and you say, what do I have to do to have a successful marriage? I say, you got to want to be married. Because what that means is when the shit get tough, you got to be in a position where you say, well, I'm not just finna get up and leave, or I ain't finna wild out, or I ain't finna, I'm in this for the long haul. The minute you say, I don't want to be married anymore, that shit's going to fall apart. I don't care if it's money. I don't care what it is that's keeping y'all together. When both of y'all say you don't no longer want to do this, and that just means I got to put up with the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know what I'm saying? So my wife pissed me off. I can't be like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving. I got to be like, man, I got to figure this out. I got to figure out a way to navigate this emotionally. So my point in that is that two people who are in a relationship that really want to be there are going to make whatever concessions they need to make for each other. So if he has a bad habit and he really wants to be with you and you say, I need for you to deal with this, and he doesn't, 9 times out of 10, he don't want to be with you. Now, if it's something he can't control, so he's a severe drug addiction, that's a little bit different because that's a sickness, that's an illness, that's not something, you know. But if it's just like, nah, I need for you to make certain concessions for me, I mean, because I can't treat my woman like I treat my homeboys. So I had to learn how to just, you know, talk different to my wife, as opposed to when I'm talking to the homeboys, like, yeah, motherfucker, da, da, da. I don't talk to my woman like that. I don't talk to my wife like that. Yeah, what the fuck up? What's going on, bitch? Like, we don't do that. So, but it's like I had to learn certain nuances. You know, I'm still working on not leaving my shoes in the floor. So shit still get tough around here. She said the best male leaders have a woman opinion in their ear. She said, okay, now this is Ernest. He said niggas like Orlando is the reason the white man can keep their foot on our necks. All through history, there's niggas like him who set us up. Fuck Orlando. He's the enemy. Okay. Sharita Shaw said Orlando feel on himself. She come with the one line insults like he ugly. Just like,
it's a really weird comment from Ernest being, old as he is to know better, and this woman who clearly, don't have a real man and just really just a mouthy. This is real sad. Like,
you don't know if that woman got a man or not, man.
Okay, I'll take it back. Whoever man she is, he's got to be beta. But I'm just saying, clearly, like you got. I'm in your wet dream for some reason because I'm all in your mouth for some reason.
Not the wet dream. Not a wet dream.
So what's the problem? Because whatever it is, you can't intellectually debate a point without trying to be insulting. Ernest, he's just an old fool. You let old fools, they're like old dogs. They chase after bumpers and whatever. But this woman, who I'm like, really? You're like, well, stop it. Why don't you, woman up and actually have a cogent argument about policy issues with all this, extra, estrogen trying to say, well, men ain't this. Orlando, stop it. Come with some more than what it is, so then you get more respect. At least for me, because what you're doing right now is saying a bunch of garbage. Ernest and Beyond, you gotta let old fools be old fools. He's on the air fryer, and he don't need to be frying nothing as big as Beyond is. But anyway, he need to be going to Kamara. Get some recipes from Kamara on what he needs to be doing.
It just gets more and more personal. He don't need to be air fried. Listen,
I ain't even paying no attention, dude. Man, I'm just like everybody else roast his ass.
Let me get
you know what? Listen, I know people that know you. And they told me you used to be a Democrat. And I know, so you just was mad because the Democrats didn't accept you for who you is. So you went over there chasing Ron Johnson tail.
I don't know where you get that story from, Dion.
Yeah, you know who I got. I ain't gonna say his name, but he got a radio station. Mm-hmm.
I don't know who you get this from.
Yeah, you know who he is. You know who he is.
I will tell you my story. Because like most blacks, I thought I was a Democrat. So you're not holding Earl Ingram or Shirley Hughes. Come on, that's your guy. Earl's a fat or whatever. He can go.
No, he ain't.
So whatever.
He's telling the truth about you, though.
Cousin, Shirley Hughes voted for Republicans.
He's telling the truth about you, though. You used to be a Democrat.
I'm black. Most blacks were Democrats. Dion, say something that's really smart because you're not smart. But try to be smart.
No. That ain't true.
So look, let me get to my chat room. Kerry Walker Jones said I can't lump some black men into all that, but I hear a lot of that BS Orlando is talking coming from the mouths of many men, even my significant other from time to time, and I have to hold his ass to the fire. Well, I mean, if that's your husband, I'm pretty sure he used to it. He know what to say. He know he gonna get that heat. Because I know I can say some stuff and I get a look like, yeah, and I'll be like, damn, I probably shouldn't have said that, right? You're going to have a lot of lonely nights, man. You have a lot of lonely nights, man.
Yeah, but look, that goes back to what we were saying before, like why it'd be important to have a woman too. You know what I mean? It'd be good to have somebody to bounce the ideas and thoughts off of to hear, you know what I mean, another look. Because it'd be, like you say, it's some shit I be saying sometime, and I look the look she gave, I be like, oh shit, like maybe that wasn't right. Let me go back to the lab with that.
but that's me. That's me. So if I feel like if I didn't do me, I would be less than, right? You chose me. I gotta be me, baby. I gotta be ass. We got another caller. I think I got you in. Is this my sister Sharita?
Yeah, you got me?
I got you loud and clear. What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I can, absolutely. Can you hear us?
Okay, let me just express something about Orlando. No, there's not a thing that I have about you. You are fake. You're a fake Republican, and you like, okay, fine. We do like accept you though, right? But you fake as hell.
Okay. Did we lose her?
No, I don't know if you lost me because it's like a backlash, so I don't understand it because I can hear like like in double take.
Oh, you got to turn your device down. You can't because you can't listen.
Okay.
You got to turn your device down, or you're gonna get an echo. Yeah, my bad.
Okay, and the thing is, I ain't never did this before.
Okay, that's what's up.
Orlando, you are like.
Did you say something?
I think she's going in and out. I think she's trying to work her audio out because she went out. Sound like she's giving it to you with two barrels, though, Orlando. So buckle up.
Okay, I don't know because I still keep on having a double lash or whatever. I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Like I said, as long as you don't got, because you can't listen to a lot of people have like trying to listen and talk at the same time. So you just have to treat it like a normal phone call and just.
I'm gonna hang up a call right back because I.
Okay. Man, I wanted to hear that. She was giving him that fire, Kamar. She's giving him that fire. He said, "How this is." Or Ernest. He said,
"I'm gonna hang up a call right back."
Okay. Ernest said, "How old is Orlando punk ass? He must be a young punk." Orlando older than you, boy. Kerry Walker said, "My man definitely alpha. He will have you sitting with your legs crossed, Orlando. The thing is, she said he'll have you sitting with your legs crossed, Orlando. She said the thing I do know is how to respect him, but to handle a real alpha, you have to know when and where to call him on his BS. Respect that, respect that, respect that. Don't clown me, right? Don't clown me. Let's wait. Just tell me in the car on the way home, like, you just pissed me off.
Don't clown me in front of the gang.
No, don't do me like that, right?
He must sit when he peaked because I don't understand.
Well, I don't know. Listen. He said, "Well, he old fool." No, I mean, everybody. Once again, I think opinions are very valid. I think people, by and large, all have opinions and they all feel a certain kind of way. But the time and the dates and the age that we live in, people don't feel comfortable giving their opinions around people who don't agree with them because those people make it uncomfortable. We should be in a situation where we can communicate effectively because us as foundational Black Americans, whether you know it or not, or whether you think it or not, all we really got is us. And if you think you are somehow in the good graces of the white man, or because you got some money, or because you're a member of a political party, or because you work somewhere, let one of these Gestapo ass cops pull you over. Encounter one of these really blue blood racist white people who are actually ingrained and have a little wealth and a little influence. You will get a nigga moment immediately. So it's cool for you to kind of feel like, okay, I feel like I'm not defined by my color. I'm actually I'm an American and I'm not affected by racism and all that. Stop it. It's gonna happen. It's
you lousy nigger. You a nigger.
It's gonna come. I mean, it's just how you deal with it. Like Kamar and I just referenced the show last week when obviously Joe Walker feels a certain kind of way about Black people when he started to express that sentiment. I don't feel like we lost our composure. I don't feel like anybody got came off the rails. I did have to hang up, but I hung up because it just became chaotic and counterproductive, and you really couldn't hear what anybody else had to say. So anytime it gets that way, I'm gonna just kind of try to interrupt it because my cousin Jason Vidili was in the chat and he's like, "Yo," he was telling me like Kev, he was saying it through his comment like, let's make a place like everybody should be able to say what they want to say. And he's basically telling me, Kev, get this shit together. I didn't tune in and hear motherfuckers screaming at each other. So that was the only reason we hung up on him. It wasn't just because, he was wrong in a lot of shit he said. But then once he got backed into a corner, he went to launching personal attacks. That also lets me know you might not be as solid in your position as you thought you was because you have to get personal, right? Like it's like you losing the fight, so you pull out a pistol. Like, nah,
and that's how, you know what? And that's how it be sounding when you brothers be shooting at each other like that.
Well, yeah, we're just gonna insult each other.
Nobody's making you start insulting each other. It sound like you ran out of argument. It sound like you ran out of points to make.
Okay.
And that to me
is a great observation, Kev and Kamar. So I'm like, we can debate, and Kev, you said this a bunch of times. Orlando came to my house, we had a discussion, whatever. But in the chat, and that's when you said, Orlando, if you feel like that way, say it then. So I'm like, wait a minute, we're trying to have a discussion here, right? So what's all the user this, user that? What's all the name calling? Articulate your point. Be intellectual. Bring a debate or a position, and let's have at it. Because all this extra, we both can go there because clearly I can. But again, well, user this and user that. So when we get the name calling, then it's lost, right? I know what I did tonight and what I did a couple nights ago is to understand this. We can go there, but let's not, because we can be insulting or we can be enlightened.
Well, this ain't no kumbaya either, because if you don't like somebody, you don't like them. And if you want to tell them kiss your ass, I'm not just talking about you. I'm talking about anybody. I'm saying if people really feel strongly, and this goes for me too. If you feel strongly about your point of view, and I say something that you don't agree with, right? And you call me and say, Kev, I don't agree with you, and you say, kiss my ass, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna say, if that's the way you feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, fuck you, bitch, your mama got one leg. I'm gonna be like, hey man, you entitled to your opinion. So it does kind of go both ways, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Kamar was saying. Like, it's funny because we sat here and laughed. We cheerleaders for foolishness because I be laughing at the shit.
So did you cheerleaded the foolishness like a ball fucker.
But it's fun too though, like, because I know this ain't no beef. Like, nobody gonna be waiting outside nobody job.
You ain't the only one a motherfucker don't like. It's another one to be on the radio show, motherfucker. If you went Trump way, we don't like you. Get your ass on somewhere. You go over there and be with your Trump
Dion, who you talking about? Who you talking about? You said another one that be on the show. Who you talking about?
No, to be on the radio. You know him, man, I don't want to say no names, but you know
he's talking about fatback over there. Fatback, white lover, bunny lover.
On the real.
Who's fatback?
Sherwin Hughes.
Oh, no, Sherwin didn't vote for Trump. Hell no, Sherwin didn't. Tory Love voted for Trump.
He supported
No, he didn't.
Well, okay.
He didn't vote for Trump.
You said Tory Lowe did. Oh, okay. I don't know who he voted for.
If anybody voted for Trump, we don't like you. We don't give a fuck about you. You like the dead.
You gotta speak for yourself, man. Quit saying we.
Who made you the voice, Dion? I mean,
you see how many people at your ass?
Who is the we that you claim you got control of?
You see how many black people at you in the comments?
I'm just saying, who's the we that you believe you control with your dumb ass? Who you believe?
Regardless of whatever you say, my brother, you voted for Trump. We don't like you. Your ass off the island, plain and simple.
Well, my sister,
it's over.
I'm just saying, my sister. You understand?
It's over.
You don't speak. You don't
So listen. Hold on. Check this out, y'all. So Kerry Walker says, just tell us when and where, sir, to meet you. And I guarantee you his presence will make you start peeing sitting down. This is the exact reason that every time I hear a weak Negro speak on women, I get in your ass. She talking about her husband. She said he'll make you piss on yourself, Orlando. There I go with that bullshit again, Kamar. I'm on some bullshit tonight. Ewok said, I don't pull out the pistol. I warn people about Shoe Shine Boy, and I don't like his ass. And this ain't the place where I expect people to leave and hug up afterwards. Honestly, people gonna feel the way they feel, and this is passionate for all of us because all of us as black people have a certain kind of perspective on how we've been treated in this country and where we'd like to see things go. It's a million different ways to the same destination, and it's impossible for us all to agree. And so I don't want people to think, well, Kev trying to make a kumbaya where everybody just getting along and all that shit. I'm not. I'm just saying if there's really, 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 really a way to coexist, we need to be finding those ways. I feel like we go out our way to find ways to be divisive. Black women and men, white and black, black and black. We look for reasons not to like a motherfucker. Like, I don't like that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Dion's like, nigga, die. We hate you. We hate you. We hate you. I don't hate nobody. I don't hate nobody. I try not to hate anyone. I expect people to be people. So I expect people to be them and see it from their own perspective. Now, every now and then someone will ask me for advice, or they'll come to me and say, hey, I'm looking for a way to change this, or I wanted to learn how to add something to it. And in that case, then I'm going to try to give them any information that I have. But you're really going to find me trying to turn people's opinion. No, man, no, see what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do this. No, I mean, do you, like, right? Because if I tell you to do it like I did it and it fuck up, then you're going to be blaming me. So do what you feel like you should do. Sharita Shaw said, we don't like Orlando, but it has nothing to do with voting. Oh, shit. So it ain't just voting, she said.
Damn.
It ain't
He
just
did
voting.
something personal to him.
She said he can vote for who he likes, though. So you said you don't like him just because of his political affiliation. So y'all just don't like the sound of his voice. Some of y'all just, Orlando, you got a picture of yourself on your Facebook page? They don't like what's going on. You done piss people off. She said this ain't just because who you vote for.
More than likely, they didn't like what I said. So, again, that don't bother me, man. And, pissing in the seats and all. And I don't like him because I just don't like they don't like what I'm saying. Let's just be clear. It is what I'm saying. And I don't really care about it, really, because, I've lived my life the way I'm gonna live my life. I ain't gonna, like you said, we ain't gonna change Orlando. He ain't gonna change us. So all the extra rah is cool. I'm where Kamari is. Like, I don't really get people. I don't really let people get me any space that I don't want to go into. So I'm not going there. So again, if your husband want to show up, and I'm probably gonna slap fire with him because he's probably somebody else who with at Lincoln Park or 24th Street. Again, that don't bother me now because we disagree. All the extras, extra, the female energy from, Ernest, Ernest is old, so he don't produce this type of thing.
Why you keep saying he old? Ernest ain't that old, Orlando. Why you keep saying that?
Well, he has a deficiency then. It's a problem. He don't produce enough testosterone, so he's female-ish. And Dion just fat. So, fat boys talk
stupid.
Really,
Orlando, after all that peace talk I just did, that's how you this is some crazy shit. I know.
We want them Epstein files to be released. That's what we want. Talk about that. That's what you talk about.
That's very true.
There's your buddy in there.
That is very true.
He's a felon and a rapist.
I don't know what happened to Epstein files, Dion. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know Trump is in there. You know Trump is in there. Ewok said Nat Turner would have killed Orlando first before he finished his plan because Orlando would have told. Kerry Walker Jones said, I don't give a fuck who you voted for, but I do expect you to respect females. Ernest Walker said Orlando is a house nigga snitch. Ewok ain't commented about nothing else tonight but Orlando for the last 2 hours.
That's because he's soft like that, because I'm in his head right now. He's thinking about things that I've never done before. That's why he's breaking down like that. He's crashing out.
Sharita said Orlando old as fuck. Oh, wow. Okay.
I'll take that.
Hey,
that.
Listen, listen, and it's okay. So it's 9:55. So and we just kind of missed some stuff because
I got to get ready to go to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I wanted to be off of here by 10. So, and there was some things I'm going to leave off because we can talk about them next week because we'll be back Monday. But I did want to, and it's funny that we just heard my sister Kerry Walker Jones talking about women and lack of respect for women, right? And she just put a comment up that says it's not about the ghetto shit. I said his presence, and you may know him, but you made the comment that he must pee sitting down. Own that shit. Don't play victim. And then Ewok says Orlando is dangerous to all. Pay attention. So we know, and we talk about the problems with men and women, and our relationships are kind of fractured, especially in the Black community. And I'm hearing, and I don't know if y'all heard this, Jermaine Dupri, who is the producer, and Jermaine Dupri's catalog, a lot of people say, oh, he just made Crisscross. But this dude has a very deep catalog, Kamara. Like, he has hits by some of everybody's songs that he wrote and produced that you don't even know. So he came out on a podcast and said he has spent $10,000 a night at Magic City for the last 20 years. Okay. What the hell is wrong with this dude? What are you missing in your life that you need to go to a strip club every week and spend $10,000? And at a certain point, I think
No.
he actually was facing some bankruptcy and some cash issues. But once it speaks to something bigger to me, that this whorehouse culture that we see now, that they talk about the stripper, when stripping became kind of in vogue some years back, because it used to be kind of like a taboo thing, but then it became even the fashions, the boots and the clothing and the reality TV, like stripping became like a mainstream thing.
They even walking around with their booty out now.
Yeah, and it was a little
With
concerning
their
because I was
real
worried
booty
about
out.
young girls. I was worried about young girls kind of jumping in on that trend. But when I hear that, and he's older than us, he's like 55. So is this what he wants young brothers to think balling is? The ability to go and spend $10,000? They calculated it up over 20 years. It's multi-millions of dollars. And for what? For what? I was totally lost by the whole point of it. And like, you think that's a flex? I would say you have an issue. I think you got a problem, brother. That you $10,000 a week, and that's in one night in Magic City. I said, this is a prevailing sickness for us. That's perversion. I'm sorry. That's perversion. You know, so I felt like it was sick. Kamar, you was about to jump in there. Did he freeze or no? I think he is. He might have his delay up.
That's a sick brother.
Yeah, it's something there, and people made it look. Oh wow, that wasn't a flex to me. That wasn't something that I felt like you should be saying out loud. I felt like you should keep that to yourself. But I think it does say a lot about where we are as a society, as a community, as black men and black women, in that this whole portrayal and this whole image of women, over sexualized women, and us over sexualizing them, right? Like there's what I call the lust factor, right? When you go into a strip club, this is all about lust. This is all about looking at the woman and obsessing over her. You really have no real desire to get to know her, because in your mind you've already had sex with her and this kind of thing. And so then what's left, right? Like and then there's the imagery that goes with it. I'll be glad when our culture comes up with some counterpoints. Like we see the perversion in the messages when we talk about violence and the portrayal of drug dealers who sold metric tons of crack cocaine in our community, and we idolize these individuals. We make them anti-heroes. And so once again, when I look at the violence that's up on Milwaukee right now, I say, yeah, the club, and shout out to Sean Moore, who is holding these club owners responsible, as he should. And I've seen on the news people are saying maybe the spot needs to be closed down, and that's all good. But if that spot closes, another one will open, and the same group of people with the same mentality will be in that club, so it'll be the same end results. So that's why I say we need a shift in culture in our community. We have to go to another level in understanding that counterproductive things are counterproductive. Counterprogressive things are counterprogressive. And we need to start trying to steer clear of those things and push them to the side and focus on what's important. So it's like prioritizing. I know this is not a overnight thing, but I've watched cultural phenomena happen. Like, this phenomenon didn't just come overnight. It was a slow drip through pop culture and through. I have to give hip hop some of the responsibility for this, because our music has gotten to the point now where it's just really no code, no fabric to keep the integrity in it. So I do understand that. But when I hear somebody like him at his age, who should be functioning as an elder, as a mentor for young brothers, somebody who's trying to change the narrative on our imagery. I know he makes millions of dollars off of it. So it's foolish of me and a little naive to even want him to do this. But I just feel like we have to start labeling certain things as sickness. Like, if you rob, steal, or kill to get designer clothing, you have a sickness. If you have a drug habit and you rob, steal, or kill to get that drug, you have a sickness. So if your sexual perversions are so that you would do any and everything to satisfy them, you have a sickness as well. So I just think that plays a lot into where we are culturally right now, that somebody like him, who's supposed to have status and supposed to be functioning as an elder, would even admit that out loud. Because you could have donated some of that money, right? Why we got homeless people when you spending millions of dollars? You could have started any kind of nonprofit you wanted to in your city and donated money. But you want to brag that you spend $10,000 on strippers and you've done that for the last 20 years straight, that's crazy. Kamar, you had something you want to put in this? Because I think this might be...
That's the shit. That's the glorification of bullshit.
Okay.
Really trying to glorify this shit because, you know, down there in Atlanta, that's something that they do. Right. They started that make it rain shit down there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Tricking off strip club. I think they really got that shit popping back then, back in the day. I'm in love with a stripper ass nigga. Trick ass nigga.
And
let's be honest. The pre-bogus was spending that money on there like that. He might as well bought some coochie. I rather buy the coochie than
I'm sure he did.
On money.
I'm sure he came with it.
Yeah, I'm sure he has. Yeah. I think that you know, the fact that there's women who are willing for some money to sacrifice their womanhood, to sacrifice their femininity, and say, no, I don't mind if you demean me, just give me some money. We've gotten to the point because there's some women who say, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go get me a job, or I'm gonna, you know, and then there's some women who say, no, I'm cool with that. I don't care if you, you know, over sexualize me. And then they put themselves at risk of individuals who really have no self-control and no discipline. So you end up getting raped, you end up getting assaulted, you end up getting your drink spiked. Like, it's just a whole kind of spiral, a behavioral spiral that you go through when you get into that lifestyle. So I just thought that him coming up with that is like, I said, that's not cool at all. I don't know if he thought that shit sounded playerish, but it wasn't to me. I thought it was just foul, right? But I've never been a strip club type of dude anyways. Like, I'm the dude in there with $1. Like, here, it's like, what the did you like my dance? Here's $1.
Kev, are you saying that, I guess, adult women can't? I mean, what are you saying?
You said, what was your question? What am I saying in regards to what?
My question is to adult women who are, you know, consenting. That industry. Now, I don't give me, you know, any twisted here, but I'm just saying, you know, so adult women who are making conscious decisions, who want to go into the industry, and men who want to participate, they are. It's not what we should be doing, or should it be legal? I mean, I know it's already 10 o'clock. That's another discussion. I didn't mean to kick off another debate.
No. That's real simple. Just because you can do something don't always mean you should do it. Right? Like they say, all money ain't good money. I respect the woman's right to choose. If she makes the decision to, this is how she wants to live, then I think she should understand the decision that she made. So she's willfully putting herself in the lion's den. You are putting yourself in a position that you might end up in a situation that's non-negotiable, and something negative may happen to you. I do think that kind of long-term objectification does help you. It kind of creates a debilitating mental health thing too, because after a while, then now you have a real serious relationship or serious situation with men, because you see men a certain way. So you will never really be able to trust a man, or you'll never really have a great relationship, because you've been objectified by so many. If you dance in a club for 5-6 years, imagine how many men have really obsessed over you, drooled over you, touched you inappropriately, and heaven knows what else. So when you get a man who says, yeah, you know, no, I want to be with you, I want to be right for you, you can't see the forest for the trees. So it kind of cripples you emotionally. There's such thing as emotional handicaps, right? Emotional disability, where you get a circuit blown. It's just like when you get traumatized early on in life, you're going to have trust issues. You're going to have issues, safety issues. You're going to have abandonment issues. And it takes a lot to deal with that. So I think that kind of business is what that creates. Now, if you are a grown woman of sound mind and you said, this is what I'm doing and I'm going to live with it, and whatever comes with it, fine, go do it. I'm not telling you not to do it. Go do it. Now, if you were to ask me, should I do it? I say you probably shouldn't, because you should consider the long-term circumstances. But you know.
So is that Daddy Kevin, or is that Dr. Kevin talking right now?
That's just Kevin, because that's all of that. That's Daddy Kevin and Dr. Kevin, because I wouldn't want my daughter to do that. I wouldn't want her to willingly objectify herself for some money, because there's many different ways to get money. That's not the only thing that you can do to make some money. And getting money is fine, but do you get money and maintain your self-respect? Do you maintain your integrity? You see what I'm saying? That's why I say all money ain't good money. So I would explain that to her, like, listen, baby girl, you might think your back is against the wall and you don't have anybody else, or you don't have anyone to help you. I will help you and support you until you find something else, as opposed to doing that. But if that's
Ain't nothing
what you
wrong with a
want,
woman selling no coochie.
if that's what you want to do, I can't stop you anyways. But I am going to hold tight and hold fast on, I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should objectify yourself. It'd be just, I mean, it's males. We just seen the Terminator and all these male sex workers, and that shit's trending now since the Diddy shit just went down. People don't even pay attention to that. The male sex workers are trending now. There's a lot of men out here who gonna be trying to pursue this. Oh, he was with Cassie and Puffy. They don't see any of the exploitation. They're gonna say, oh man, he was getting that money, man. I took that money and I'd invested. I'd bought me some houses. So a little bit of left, a little bit left of the line, a little bit right of the line. Either way it go, you off the line. And it can be good, it can be bad, but more often than not, this ends up bad. So I just thought the fact that he was so, adamant, just he was like saying that like it was cool. Like, yeah, man, I probably didn't spend 10. I'm like, bro, like that's where we at now. And you our age, you're in our generation. That shit ain't what's happening, but that's just one man's opinion. Shout out to you, Ruben Anderson. I seen in the chat room, he said real talk. Carrie Walker Jones, she said these women are going to Dubai and being porta potties for a price. Man, people do some when when Mike Epps said that in Friday, that's why people still say it. Something strange for a piece of change. You muted, Kamar.
I was gonna say that shit real. I've been watching shit on YouTube about that, man, about women going to Dubai, and it really is a thing where they got a fetish or they piss and shit on women.
Yikes!
It's a thing, man.
Get your money.
I thought it was just some shit they were saying before too.
Get your money. Go get your money. But don't come back to me crying in the end, and then a lot of them will come back and blame men. They say men ain't shit and they ain't dogs. And I worked in a strip club. But yeah, but you put yourself in the midst of men who are of that ilk.
And here's more of it, right? Like it's a dark side of that too, because they doing the shit for money. First off, now second, if you raise your voice at a man, you going to fuck the jail.
Okay.
So you doing this shit with. You got to do everything the fuck he say till he say he done and he's satisfied.
Are you talking about in Dubai?
Like, they really, in Dubai. They really running them to the dirt. You know what I'm saying? With that shit, dog. And it's ugly. It was a whole documentary I was watching about that.
Well, that's what they say. Lesson learned, money earned, right? Or money earned, lesson learned. Go ahead,
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So what about our young male men, whatever you want to call them, who are also, the other part of the equation. They are uncontrolled, no discipline. I think you might have touched on this, like so you're going to the strip club. So what does it mean for the female that you call yourself that you care about, and you doing these acts? So how does it work? I guess I'm asking. It should be a segment. Ask Dr. K. So.
Well, I don't like that segment, but I can tell you, there's some brothers who go to the strip club with their friends. You go with your partners. It might not be your thing. That's how I've gone in the past, because I was with the homies and we, let's go up in there. But the thing about this is what is your mentality when you go in there? Because I look at it like this. If you are a man who has problems with women, you have a problem meeting women, communicating with women, you have a negative image of women, you shouldn't go to the strip club. You shouldn't go to the strip club because it's just it's gonna be bad. But if you are a man who has a healthy understanding of, what a woman is and how you should treat a woman and be respectful and have integrity, and you go in there, you see it for what it is, it's entertainment. And that's why more often than not, a lot of, intellectual dudes don't really like strip clubs because it's like a waste of money. You go in there, it's like, wow, what am I doing? Like, this ain't even cool to me. I've always been an individual that prided myself in it's to me, it's more intriguing and intellectually stimulating to me the woman who has her clothes on, that's beautiful, that's attractive, than a woman who's butt naked walking around so everybody can see it. So it depends on your mentality. That is kind of like the answer, because it's some cool brothers who just said, nah, man, we just out of town, we in Vegas, so we went to the little, bar, whatever. But then there's some dudes who be in there every Wednesday, like Jermaine Dupri, praying. You a wolf. You just praying, right? First thing, hop off the bus from from Chicago trying to come to Atlanta and be a stripper. You sitting there like a wolf, like, you're a predator, man. You're a predator. It's predatory behavior, man. That's all I'm saying. But I think young men right now need to work on emotional intelligence. I feel like a lot of young men right now are not really in touch emotionally and mature emotionally because, and I'm gonna step out here and say this, because the influence of strong male role models is not there. The one thing a strong male role model is going to do for you as a young man is he's going to teach you, first of all, you need to control your emotions. That's why a lot of people misconstrue it and say, well, why are you telling him he shouldn't cry? I'm not telling him he shouldn't cry. I'm telling him that there's a place and a time for crying. I'm telling him to manage his emotions because when you are the man in the family, you can't be the first person to come apart every time there's a crisis. Oh my God, what are we going to do? You have to be the rock to say, hey, everybody be cool. Look, we'll figure this out. Let me get some stuff together. We'll be all right. I mean, if I'm sitting around and my daddy crying and my mama crying, I'm confused. Like, what the fuck? So
okay, I'm not trying to prolong the show, kid, but
you already did.
Are you? I did. I apologize. I take that. Beyond and Irv and all the.
It was a shooting on 32nd and Belize too.
Oh, whatever. So Dion, keep eating your fried fish.
Shaquilla Morrison, what it do, Shaquilla? How you doing, Shaquilla? Been a long time.
So are you saying then, Kev, that we need to teach our young men to have control of sexual desires, or what we said? We coaching young men, mentoring young men. Like every male has these expressions, but you must control them.
Well, I think you have to control yourself, period. And emotional intelligence will lead you to being able to control your sexual desires. I don't think you can separate emotion and desire, because desire is an emotion. I feel like if you teach a young man how to conduct himself and you teach him values and you tell him how he needs to respect women, first of all, he needs to respect his mom, because that's where it starts at. That's your first love. That's the person who, as a woman, you look to her and say, this is my mama. Like, it's hard for me to disrespect women because I loved my mama. Not in a sexual way, but just out of respect for her, knowing her as a woman and all the things that she did, her value to me. So I don't disrespect other women because of that. And she taught me to be emotionally mature as well. She always taught me, listen, there's a certain way things need to be done. There is a right and a wrong way. So, I teach my son that, like, hey, don't disrespect women like that. He's grown up with an example of a woman in the house who's respected. So, and he has a sister. And a lot of young men don't get those lessons because they have an issue with their own mom. Maybe mom is struggling. Maybe he's seen mom deal with a bunch of different men. Maybe he's seen mom allow herself to be victimized by certain men while she's out here trying to find some affection. Why you let dude beat on you and he still come over here? Dude came up here and drunk up our Capri Sun packs. You ain't even say nothing about it. Like, those little issues build up and to the point where you're actually hating your mother and you don't know it. Subconsciously, you're hating your mother and it manifests in your behavior towards other women. One of the greatest books I ever read was Iceberg Slim, who actually was born and raised in, well, he wasn't born in Milwaukee, but he was raised in Milwaukee, AKA Robert Beck. And in Pimp, The Story of My Life, half of the things that he did that led him to become a pimp was because of his relationship with his mother. He had a real serious problem with his mom. And so it leads a lot of us astray, just like it does with women who have daddy issues. So, we both need some schooling. We both need some learning. Both sides need teaching, less finger pointing and more enlightenment, right? Like, because sometimes if you ask a man, like, what's really going on, I think one of the more pivotal conversations you can have when you first meet someone is to ask them about their family and look at the relationship they have with their family and how they was raised. Tell me about your people. Where was you raised at? I never knew my daddy. I was a foster care baby. Now in your mind, like, damn, stability might not be something that she's used to, right? Like, I got to be aware. We talked about triggers. I got to be aware, she has abandonment issues. Like, you have to listen, man. You have to listen more than you talk. So it's complicated. It'll take a long time. If maybe we'll do a show about that if we can get some sisters on here who want to speak to it. I'd like to get some experts, some therapists, some relationship experts, what have you. Somebody who's actually really.
No, Doc Kev. You was on point, Doc Kev. No doubt. He was just on point there.
I'm gonna need you to stop saying Dr. Kev, though. That's super not cool. Listen, y'all. Shout out to y'all,
Especially
man.
coming from him.
Please share this show. They are playing with us in the algorithm. Please share the show. That's all we ask. She said, try teaching your sons to respect women. I absolutely do, just like my daddy did. My daddy taught us to respect women, but he also taught us not to let a woman dominate us. So, you know, there's a thin line. Like, respect her, but don't be nobody's punk. My mother reinforced that. Like, no, you gonna respect her, but you don't let her disrespect you either. It's a two-way street.
Oh man.
Carrie Walker says it's some of us who don't receive respect, but those are the ones that you send off. Come on, what you got popping this weekend, man?
This weekend, hey, look, you already know you could pull up at the House of Vitality, but if you want to see me, you come up to the Fondy Market between 9 o'clock and 2 this Saturday. Other than that, I'll be at the House of Vitality.
That's what's up. Dion, you staying in town this week, or you going through them sundown towns again?
No, you know what? If I seen a van on the marketplace, so if he got it this weekend, I'm gonna go ahead and tap into the bank, which I really shouldn't be doing, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going to Katana, Wisconsin. But if not, I'm gonna go to Chicago. You know, I go to Chicago every weekend. The gal stay down there, so I gotta go spend some time with her. You know, when I get off work Saturday, because I work 2 jobs. You know, I work for the city Monday through Friday. And Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I drive a mail truck, you know, so That's about it, though, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at these Jordans, so I think I'm going to buy these Jordans Saturday, too, though, I don't know. Even though I shouldn't do it, but I ain't got no pair of 8s. I got 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s. I ain't got no 8s. I got some 9s. I ain't got no 10s. I got 11s. I don't think I got 12 or 13. So, living life, But I'm held down, though. I got the white man on my neck, though. Because, goddamn it, it's going to be the tariffs going to be on these shoes that I'm ordering pretty soon. So instead of them being $215, they're going to be $235. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to have to talk about the tariffs and the Trump economy, But
the homie on Fond du Lac still going to have $45.
Yeah, I'm going to buy them, though, Kamar. I don't care. I'm going to buy them. I need them, though.
The homie on Fond du Lac going to have them for $100.
Yeah, you get the Mexican Jordans.
Never. I wish I would buy. Man, I wish I would. I ain't buying no.
He got the sombrero on. He got a guitar in his hand instead of a basketball.
I gotta push that stinking ass garbage to them trucks every day, so I might as well. And I'm still waiting on the other people. They doing a background check on me now. I don't want to say what other entity I'm gonna work for because I don't trust Orlando. You know what I'm saying? He might be like, y'all gonna have this nigga work for y'all. But yeah, though, he could call
Orlando,
the city.
you on the campaign trail? Y'all got a convention or something this weekend? Where you going to Postigo or something? Where you go? What you got going?
I'm gone, yeah.
All right, Dion. Did we lose Orlando? Orlando, go ahead.
We will continue doing the Joseph Project, helping individuals looking for employment. As many may not know that we've been doing the Joseph Project now for almost 10 years. Helping individuals who look for employment, in manufacturing. From there, I will be, doing some more job fairs this weekend over the next few days, and supporting, the idea of trying to connect individuals who really want to have an opportunity. From there, I'm gonna be with my family man this weekend. I may have to come holler at Kamar because whatever he had in the elixirs, they really work. So I got to come out again. I saw his kids, man, and awesome. Customer service was awesome, and he's really doing a great job as a dad. And Kev, I got to come holler at you at the RC because my son is getting ready for the RC.
Oh, you ain't ready for that conversation. You ain't ready for that. I'm too deep over here. I got too many babies over here. Kamar, give us an OG moment before we get out of here, man. Real OGs do what?
All right, I got it. I got you. Real OGs know if you control your lust, you will find 75% of these women mentally unattractive.
Y'all heard the man. Be the change you want to see. I see y'all Monday.